Hi, this is Skip Bayless, and thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I just posted a personal story on my Facebook page. If you want to know what I'm really all about, what makes me tick, what made me me, you should read what I wrote about my upbringing. You should read about how I succeeded in spite of a mean-spirited drunk of a father and a mother who was too interested in herself to ever be much interested in me. You should read about my athletic achievements and my chokes. You'll find my story on my Facebook page. And now, let's get the show started.
Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Hey, Ebenezer Bayless.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Ebenezer Bayless.
Allow me to wish the many, many Cowboy fans watching right now a very Jerry Christmas. And allow me to ask my friend across the table, Shannon Sharpe, how about them Dallas Cowboys? How about that NFC East? How about that Diet Mountain Dew? Wait, hold on. I need a drink.
Oh, you got problems.
It's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. Hold on.
You see, Jenny? You see the problem?
He is feeling it today, Shannon.
Where was that skip last week?
It's the breakfast of champions.
Where was that skip
The
last
nectar
week?
of the gods.
Where was that skip Bayless last week?
He's here this week,
Okay.
today. All that matters
here.
is now, Jenny, how are you? How are you,
great.
Shannon?
Okay.
And how are all you? Because I'm really good today.
Okay.
Thank
This is going to
you.
be hard to top.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Jenny.
Merry Christmas to you. Boy, I'm happy you're happy. The Cowboys got the win.
They come and skip,
We've
baby.
got a
I
lot
gotta
to
blow
get
my
to
nose.
on today's show. Well, let's Skip catch his breath for
blow
just
your
a second.
nose.
I'm also curious if Skip is still on the Tom Brady bandwagon. Are we
that's a
going to
good question.
celebrate there? And
Yep.
then, Shannon, are you still on the Patrick Mahomes
That's a very good
Absolutely.
question.
bandwagon? But we will start with the Cowboys. They clinched the NFC East yesterday with a win at home against the Bucs. The story of the game was the Dallas defense. Jalen Smith returned a fumble for a touchdown in the first quarter, and Randy Gregory recovered a fumble in the third quarter to set up another Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys' offense wasn't great, but Dak threw a touchdown pass and ran for another. He's headed to the playoffs for the second time in 3 years. Let's take a listen to Dak after the win.
We knew it all along. You're probably the only ones in this room that counted us out. At 1-2, at 3-3, at 3-5, we knew exactly what we had. We knew the team that we had. And we still know that. And as I said before, there's a lot of work to be done. And we're happy for tonight. We're going to celebrate it the right way, but then get right back to work.
Okay, Shannon, how impressive were the Cowboys yesterday?
Yes,
They
Shannon.
weren't very impressive, Skip Bayless, and you know they weren't very impressive. So
My
stop.
turn?
No,
No.
it's not your turn. Your name ain't Shannon.
You asked me a question.
Well, don't answer.
Yeah.
Look, they were not very impressive. Look, you have to be excited you won the game. You have to also be excited that you clinched the division. So now you get to go into week 17. Do we rest Zeke? Zeke has 381 touches.
We rest.
Do you rest Tyron Smith or Zach Martin?
Yes, we
You
do.
get the opportunity, Skip, to give some guys some rest maybe that you probably wouldn't had you not won this game. So you have to be pleased with that.
Thank you.
Skip, offensively, you can't be pleased with the way you perform because you had two drives that you were able to sustain. You got a touchdown on the opening drive, but after that, Skip, you really didn't do a whole lot. Scooping score by Jalen Smith, a recovery at the 2-yard line by Randy Gregory.
Yep.
Outside of that, you also got another field goal in which you drove the football.
Okay.
So you can't be pleased with what you saw offensively. And unfortunately, your defense was unbelievable. They've been very good all year long. But the way this thing works, you don't get to take one phase of your team to the playoffs. You don't get to say, defense, we're going, offense, special teams, you stay at home. You have to go as a team. And right now, Skip, your offense isn't playing very well, considering Tampa isn't very good defensively. They're the 27th passing attack. And Dak threw for 161 yards. Skip. Don't look at it. 161 with a touchdown. Oh, he did have 20 completions, 25 attempts.
Interesting.
Dinking and dacking again.
Did he?
Dinking and dacking, ain't nothing happening.
What was his QBR yesterday? I was just curious. Did your researcher look it up? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. It was 87, which was really high for Dak this year. Go ahead.
Considering that's the 27th pass defense, and your quarterback only threw for 161 yards. Now, granted, they can't rush the passer. They don't generate a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback, and that's all you can muster. And when you didn't have Zeke didn't have a ton of carries. He only had 18 carries, 85 yards. So what was the reason the passing game wasn't more effective? That's what I need to know. Why wasn't it more effective? Skip, and again, this is the second fewest yards you've had in the game since opening day against Carolina. 232. You proud of that, Skip?
Is it my turn?
No.
I can answer that.
The Dallas Cowboys really, Skip, had, as I mentioned earlier, 2 real scoring drives. Opening drive, they got a touchdown. They had 16 first downs, Jenny. They got 6 of those on the first drive. So after the first drive, they got 10 total first downs the rest of the game.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn, Skip Bayless. Dallas offense benefited from their defense playing unbelievable. Jalen Smith has been unbelievable. They put pressure, they harassed Jameis the entire game. He got some yards. I mean, you go look at his numbers. He's like, man, Jameis played good. Not when they needed him to play good when the game was close. When they got up by 14 and the Cowboys were playing off, they were going to concede a lot of catches and a lot of throws. But other than that, I don't think that he put them in harm's way one bit. So you're excited you won the ball game. Dallas, you're excited you won the ball game. You won the division. But going into the playoffs with this offense playing like this, nah, bro, you can't be overly excited.
So, Jenny, once again, I got to get a new television because I saw a very different game than Mr. Sharpe saw, but he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I am not. So I'm going to have to defer to him.
Okay, do that.
But I'm going to have to actually take exception to much of what he said. I don't know why, but it's just me. Maybe I've had too much dew this morning because I am swimming in Diet Mountain Dew. In fact, I was thinking last night, maybe I should buy a place on LeBron's block over in Brentwood, and I can have a swimming pool full of Diet Dew. Olympic-sized pool, and I can be LeBron's neighbor thanks to you.
You got a pool. You got a pool in your neighborhood.
I do not. In my complex.
Yes, you do.
So I'm going to restate what I've been telling you all year very long.
What?
This is the weirdest and most frustrating Dallas Cowboy team or any team that I have ever attempted to root for a whole season. It has worn me out, and I will be the first to admit to you, it wore me out yesterday because it will do some great things, some, dare I say, Super Bowl here we come things, and then it will do some scary bad things, dare I say, first round playoff exit things, all in the same game. And yet, this Dallas Cowboy team just won 6 out of 7 games to win the NFC East. You said they would not win. And they won me 6 more cases of Diet Mountain Dew. And I will be forever grateful to this team for winning me now a grand total of 17 cases of Diet Mountain Dew. Thank you very much.
You get it back in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see about that. That's a lot of dew to get back. And I'm not going to just give it right back to you on one game. But I'll be the first to admit, this team won 6 games of the last 7. Guess what the points were? They won by 7 at Philadelphia. They won by 3 at Atlanta. They won by 8 at home on Thanksgiving against Washington. By 3, as we know, against New Orleans. Against Philly at home by 6. And then yesterday by 7 over lowly Tampa Bay. So that's not all that impressive, is it? Right?
No.
Okay. By comparison, New Orleans just clinched home field throughout the playoffs. They are plus 170 points for the year, which leads the NFL, plus 170. That's how much they've outscored their opponents. Dallas has outscored its opponents this year 14 by plus 14 points. And that includes a bizarrely inexplicable home win over Jacksonville that was 40-7 Dallas. That includes that to get them to plus 14.
So without that game, they're negative. They've been outscored.
That is correct. So you just made a strong case that their glass is half empty. I see their glass as 2/3 full because I'm going to say it again. I love my team. I love my quarterback. I love my running back. And I like my defense, though at times yesterday I did not like them. And you said they were amazing yesterday, and I thought just the opposite. They were mostly horrifying to me yesterday because they let Jameis Winston pull off 7 drives that averaged 10 plays per drive. Think about that. In 10 plays, 7 drives, he averaged 10 plays a drive, and that included drives of 17 and 14 plays against a defense that is now 26th in the NFL in allowing third down conversions. So you say, what about the offense? Tampa Bay ran 75 plays to Dallas's 50. Tampa had it 35 minutes to Dallas's 25 minutes. That's outrageously wrong for a team that just 2 games ago went into the Indy game leading the NFL in time of possession on offense.
Well, Skip, that's skewed because Jalen Smith got a scoop and score,
Okay,
so Dallas offense never
but I'm just
touched the
saying,
field.
were they able to stop Jameis consistently? They were not.
But
He drove it, and he drove it, and he drove it.
Did he get points?
He got 20 points. And this defense is still 4th in the league in points allowed. So I will hang my helmet on that one. I'll go into the playoff game hoping that they rise and shine the way they did against Drew Brees, because the last 2 weeks, I haven't been that impressed. Let's do 3 weeks. I'll go back 3 weeks because I wasn't impressed in the fourth quarter against Carson Wentz. And then I definitely wasn't impressed 23-0 at Andrew Luck. And then yesterday, Jameis just drove it, and he got stopped short, obviously, on the one scramble.
But guess what, Skip? Guess who didn't drive it against a poor defense?
Thank you for
Dak
bringing that up.
Prescott.
By the way, thank you also for mentioning Jalen Smith, who should have been a Pro Bowler, even over Van Der Esch. That was a spectacular burst. They should try him at running back. His brother plays running back. No. Hey, was that not a 4.40 that he ran up the sideline?
He can run.
Can he not fly?
But here's the thing, though, Skip, again, remember now, if you put somebody on the Pro Bowl, you got to take somebody off.
Yeah,
Are you taking Bobby Wagner or Luke Kuechly off the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. I don't even know how to do it. He played Pro Bowl caliber football to me this whole year.
Yes, he did.
He was the driving force of that defense the whole year long. And I love Van Der Esch led them in tackles, and he had a big game yesterday. He had 15 more tackles yesterday to Jalen Smith's 10. But Jalen Smith made the plays at the moment.
Yes.
Just electrifying.
It just seems to me that Jalen Smith make more impact plays. He's in the backfield.
Right.
He's playing downfield.
Right.
He's getting those high collision plays that the ball's coming out.
No disrespect to the tackling Dutchman or the wolf hunter, as he's called. Oh. And he was doing some of that
I want to know what they're going to do with Sean Lee. They don't even miss Sean.
You know what? It was the first time I tweeted this right before the game. I was actually very happy that he couldn't go yesterday because he's become a jinx. He tried to go in Indy, and what happened, right?
Oh, so you blame that on Sean Lee.
I flipped it completely around. They can't win without him. Now they can't win with him.
The other way.
Right?
You blaming Sean
Well,
Lee?
they found a new way, and it's a new day in Dallas, and I'm sorry, but again, I wasn't sure yesterday if his hamstring was balky or if Jerry finally said, maybe we ever just sit him down, right?
Yes.
So I do not love the fact that on offense, the new connection, the Dak to Amari connection, it has gone awry. It has disappeared because at Indy, he caught 4 balls for 36 yards, and yesterday he caught 4 balls for 20 yards on only 5 targets. So clearly, defenses are saying, you can't have him. You can have Cole Beasley all you want. You can throw it to Michael Gallup all you want, but you can't have Amari. And it scares me because I agreed with the analysis yesterday from Troy Aikman that, hey, it doesn't matter if he's doubled. You just throw it to him because he's Amari Cooper. Right. And especially if you think you have single on him, you're going to force the ball. Even if the play isn't called to him, just throw it to him.
Here's the thing, though, Skip. Look, when you have a number one guy, you don't think they double Michael Thomas?
Oh, come on.
Or Julio, all these top
Totally.
receivers? Look at Antonio Brown. Half the game yesterday he was doubled, and he still went and got 14
if
for
I
a
may
buck.
go to the highest, you don't think Jerry Rice was doubled every play of his career?
Yes.
Like every play.
That's what sets the great ones apart.
Okay, so now back to my quarterback. All I know is Dak Prescott keeps making crucial plays. You probably think they're little plays. I think they're little, huge plays. And he makes them every game that they win. When they got goose egg 23-0, he couldn't make the play to get them in the end zone, even though he drove it in the first half, as you know, 10 plays, 14 plays, 15 plays. Yesterday was not that kind of game. But I'm going to go back to the first drive yesterday after Tampa Bay had scored quickly to go up 3-0. It looked like they're going to drive it all the way home for 7-0. What happened on 3rd and 12 from the 34? Could we see this throw? This is a huge throw in the game. This is big time. This is Dak Prescott at his best. That's a rifle shot to Michael Gallup. Did it not hit him right? And again, it looks like he's It's probably cover 2, but he's just double. He's got 2 defenders in his area code, right?
Yep.
And what a throw that is. And it got them, that's 3rd and 12 from your 34. And if you don't convert that, which I was dubious about them converting, all of a sudden Tampa's got it back with a chance to go in for 10-0, right?
Correct.
Which they probably would have. So now let's go down to, well, then what happened at the end of that drive? Dak, they finally called the read option, and he kept it and scored. And that was a red zone touchdown, which I hadn't seen in forever. He took it in with his legs. What did I keep telling you? He has to run the football. He should have run it more than he did in this game, but that's hard to stop to me because he's a big man who's a really crafty ball handler, and he has nice acceleration for 240 pounds or whatever he is. So now let's go to the other red zone play. Was this not a nice fade throw to Michael Gallup? If we could go to the, we're going down to later in the game. This made it 27-13. That's a huge throw in the game because I wasn't sure they could get in the end zone. Great idea, great throw, great execution, nice catch. That was huge in the game because that basically won the game with that throw.
Yes.
Now let me go to the last throw. This is a huge throw in the football game. They are in jail. They are backed up against their goal line. They got 3rd and 10 from the 2-yard line, and he finds little Cole Beasley for 13 yards. And I always say,
Get it up 27-13.
Okay, you don't think you got to eat clock there? You don't think Jameis is going to get back in the game? Because that's 6:34 left in the game.
Jameis had up until that point.
That just ate 2 more minutes of clock that were crucial in the end. Did it not get a little tight in the end?
But here's the thing.
Did they not onside?
They did.
Yes.
But let me ask you this. Jameis, you saw Jameis for 3.5 quarters, and he had really done nothing. What made you convinced that if they'd got the ball with 6 minutes back, he was going to do something in that
He'd
season?
really done nothing?
No.
Are you kidding me? He threw for 336 yards.
see?
I mean, look, they just dominated the football. They had
They
it
was
the whole
behind
game.
basically the entirety of the whole game.
Okay, but they look at the yardage in the game. They had it 383 to 282.
But see, this is why you just can't look at stats, and you need to watch the game. Because if you watch the game, if you ever think Dallas was in any jeopardy playing the Bucs, you're sadly mistaken.
Boy, I saw a different game.
You-
Of course,
you-
I'm
clearly.
looking at it very upside down from you. I thought they were in jeopardy the whole game.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Jameis had the number 1 receiver in yards per catch in the league coming in Deshaun, who had some foot issue for a while, came back in. And he had the number 2 receiver in yards per catch in the league in Mike Evans. Did Mike Evans not do a lot of damage yesterday?
Yeah, but it was late in the ball game,
Okay.
Skip.
Well, but to me, that 3rd down throw, when Dak Prescott really needs to pull off a throw and he steps into it, he makes his choice early and steps into the throw, he makes big, clutch delivery throws where he throws it right on time and right on target. I'm sorry. To me, that was thank you God play
Okay,
right
so
there.
what are you going to do about the interception? What about the throw behind Blake Jarwin when he had him wide open on the crossing route?
Okay? I just showed you the key plays he made to make sure they won that game 27-20. He made those key plays. I love my quarterback. I'll take my quarterback.
I get it. But let me ask you a question. What team that you could possibly place in the playoffs are the equivalent of the Bucs?
Well, obviously, no team except
Exactly.
Jameis can throw the heck out of it now.
So can he throw the ball better?
And has he not been hot for the last 4 games?
Okay, how about
yes,
this?
he has.
Okay. Can he throw the ball as good as Russell Wilson or Jared Goff or Drew Brees? Because that's what you're going to face, Skip.
I'm glad you brought up Seattle. We saw Seattle put on a show last night against your MVP, Patrick Mahomes. As I predicted they would, they won at home, and now they have to go on the road, and very likely they're going to go on the road to Dallas for the first game. If they beat Arizona this next Sunday, they're coming to Dallas.
Haven't they already beat you guys?
They beat us at Seattle. And Jenny, what did they call it at Michigan this year? The Revenge Tour?
Revenge Tour.
What was the basis? What was the foundation of winning 6 of 7? What was the foundation of winning 5 straight games for the Dallas Cowboys? Revenge, 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 revenge. And here they come again. This is perfect. This is the perfect opponent for Dallas.
But that
if
was
it's
last
Seattle.
year, though.
Okay, what was last year?
The Revenge Tour. So you getting back at the team that beat you last year.
This year, but the 5 in a row that they won, those were all revenge games.
Oh.
What
So
it's-
you're going to make this a revenge game.
Okay, it shapes up perfectly as a revenge game because what happened 1 year ago on Christmas Eve? What happened at Jerry World? Russell Wilson beat
the
them.
brakes off y'all.
And guess whose fault it was? It was the Dez drop
Oh,
game.
my goodness,
Do you remember
stop
that?
this.
It was the Dez drop
Don't
game.
do that.
Is Dez Bryant still a Dallas Cowboy?
Oh,
He is
my
not
goodness.
a Dallas Cowboy.
man rehabbing
so
the
all of a
Achilles and
sudden,
you blaming
you
him.
have a chance to get even for what Russell did to you. Last year, it was 21-12.
And he did it again this
And
year.
remember, they had it 1st and goal at the 3 late in that game to cut the lead. And Dak tried to run for a yard, and then there was a hold that put him back on Jason Witten. Remember this? Then Dak got sacked, and they wind up with a field goal that Dan Bailey missed. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was a horrendous series. You can wipe the slate clean. You can get even for that. You can get even for the game that was 24-13 this year. Early, it was week 3 at Seattle.
Yeah.
And Zeke had a bad game that game. Remember, he dropped
Seattle's
the pass.
better.
Huh?
Seattle's better.
I don't think they are.
You don't think they're a
I
better
don't-
team than week 3?
Oh, Seattle's better than week 3. I thought you
Yes.
meant they're better in Dallas. I don't think they're better in Dallas. I'll take my team at home. I like my team at home.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect matchup.
You liked them against Tennessee.
I did not.
You didn't like them against Tennessee. You picked them.
I mean, I picked them, but I
Exactly.
didn't love the game.
Okay.
Well,
Of course not.
there's no history between those two teams, right?
We ain't
There's
got no-
no revenge factor, right?
You know what?
I got this. I like this. It shapes up perfectly. And then, to Jerry Jones' point after the game yesterday, this is just the kind of team that can play defense and run the football that can be very dangerous and catch fire in the playoffs.
Man, Jerry need to stop. Now, just last week, he pulled the alarm because he's concerned for his offense and defense because they scored no points. Now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks earlier, he said we're different cats after we beat New Orleans. So he rides the wave of whatever's happening. My team wins, oh, we can win the Super Bowl. My team lose, we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Jerry, come on, bruh. And you fall right along into that trap.
Did I say I love my owner when I started off today? I did not. Did I say I love my head coach? I didn't
not.
say that. Are they winning in spite of those two? I
No,
could say they
no.
are. Yes, they are.
Give
and
Jerry
I think
credit.
you should be starting to sweat even more because here comes Seattle, the perfect opponent at home for Dallas, which is why I'm rooting for Seattle to win that game. Don't blow that game to Arizona.
All I'm saying is this is what I'm saying, Skip Bayless. The Dallas Cowboys are like the Duke freshmen. They one and done. Yeah, they one and done, bro.
Well, guess who was the star of the game at Seattle this year? Who made the 2 big interceptions, came out of nowhere to make both of them on Dak Prescott on tip balls? Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
He is no longer a
right.
Seahawk. Am I right?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's advantage Dallas because Earl wanted to get even with the team that did not work hard enough
Forgot
to
about
trade
that.
for
Russell
him,
Wilson
right?
playing at an MVP level.
Well, he is. You're going to make the
Russell
case.
Wilson playing like that, wish he could
Yeah.
play.
So are you admitting that Russell Wilson outplayed your MVP, Patrick
Don't
Mahomes,
do
last
that,
night?
Skip.
I
Skip,
think
don't
he
do
did.
that. Skip, why do you do that?
You know, all I'm doing is I really like this football team going into the playoffs because then it's do or die. It wasn't do or die at Indy. They had a 2-game lead, and they thought Philly would lose.
It
to
wasn't
the
do or
Rams.
die yesterday, but they won.
Well, it was. I think they thought that they didn't want to have to go
my
to New York.
goodness. Oh, but you told me you wanted them.
I did.
You picked Tampa to win the game.
I did.
Okay.
I
you
did.
said you
I
wanted
also
Dallas.
said I did it as a public service.
Okay.
I wanted some
Okay.
fear factor.
Yeah, okay, but you also said you wanted Dallas to go to New York with the they
Yeah,
have to win.
I would have liked that because it would have been a springboard into the playoffs. Now you have to go up there and do a half and half game. Dak will probably play
Rest
a
of the
half.
guys, yeah.
A lot
He
of
didn't
guys
play the
won't
whole
play.
game.
Well, you could. I don't disagree with you. Maybe he and Amari and Cole and all of them. That maybe they need to play 7-on-7 the whole
He
game.
had 8 turnovers his rookie year, 16 the next year. He got 14 right now. So a guy that you told me took very care of the football
Yep.
is starting to turn it over at an alarming rate, Skip.
How many times he turned over yesterday?
One. One more than he should.
Huh? Interesting. I don't remember that.
You do remember it.
Yep. So
Don't do that, Skip. Skip, why would you do that? You talking about you don't remember it.
I just don't remember
Selective
the turnover.
memory.
I thought he was really good yesterday.
You thought so?
Yep, I did.
Interesting.
So did QBR. QBR really liked
Stop
him
it,
yesterday.
Skip Bayless with that QBR.
87.
Because by that metric, Jameis Winston is the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in football, and we know that not to be the case.
Well, I know over the last 5 weeks he's been he still has the 5th best QBR.
Even if you go over the last 5 weeks, they're not in the playoffs. But unfortunately, the game is NFL season is 16 weeks. So, and he hadn't been very good. He's been benched twice for ineffective play.
Help me out. Who won the NFC East this year?
I don't
Wanna
know.
remind
I
them?
don't know.
Oh, it was
It's
the
not my turn to
Dallas Mountain Dews. It was the Dallas Dews.
It's not my turn to talk,
No,
so I
they
don't
are
know.
locked in as
The
the
Dallas
fourth seed.
Dews
It's
did
not
it
my
again.
turn to talk,
NFC.
Skip.
Yeah.
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
It's no
Way to go,
question.
Shannon.
Okay, let's move to the AFC, though. A tough loss for the Steelers. Are they done?
Yeah.
Is it Mike Tomlin's fault?
Yep.
We'll discuss what happened next.
No mercy.
The game of the day in the NFL yesterday was in New Orleans. The Saints beat the Steelers 31-28 to clinch home field throughout the playoffs. One of the key plays of the game came with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Steelers had a 4-point lead and tried a fake punt from their own 42-yard line. Roosevelt Nix needed 5 yards, but he only got 4. The Saints got the ball back and scored the game-winning touchdown. So, Shannon, did you agree with the fake punt call?
I did not. And someone needed to tell Roosevelt Nix that he needed 5 yards instead of 4 because he was celebrating like he got the first down. I'm like,
It was a bad look.
It was a horrible look, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, I don't agree with it. And let me tell you why I don't agree with it. Because I thought at that point in time, Pittsburgh defense was playing well.
They were.
Block field goal,
Yep.
punt, the previous 3 possessions. That's what they had done to the New Orleans offense. So I felt that he breathed life back into the Saints when he didn't need to. If you thought that make them drive the long way, you're still going to get the ball back and still go back down and maybe get the field goal to tie or the touchdown to win. But I don't agree with the call at that down the distance. I thought he was pulling his Kirby Smart, Skip. Why would you give Drew Brees in that offense the ball at midfield? Because you know what's going to happen.
Well, you didn't intend to. But
Yeah.
Skip, 4th and 1, okay, maybe. 4th and 5 is a long way. But
Long way.
if you want to go with it, let me ask you a question, Skip. Do you trust Nix or do you trust Big Ben, Juju, and AB? If you felt that confident you're going to go for it, I want the ball in Big Ben's hands, throwing to Antonio Brown or Juju. That's just me.
Okay,
If you want to go.
let me jump in before you go to
Go
your
ahead.
other points. I liked what Mike Tomlin did, even though in 2020 hindsight, because we saw that it
True.
did not work, it's easier to condemn it.
Yeah.
But I liked the message he was trying to send to his team. We are playing to win. We are going for broke in a place that almost nobody ever wins in, especially in big games, because obviously Brees and Peyton are 5-0 in playoff games in that building. They should be undefeated this year. They lost to Fitzmagic. But the point is, it's hard to win there, as you well know. And I didn't mind that he said he had a play he really liked. And Roosevelt Nix is their sort of backup fullback. He's not even the backup. They just don't use a fullback very often.
Right.
So he has carried the ball before, and he weighs 250 pounds. So he liked what he saw, and New Orleans made a better play.
Right.
New Orleans stopped it.
Right.
So I give you that, but I couldn't condemn it because I thought it was one of those, let's see if we can pull this off kind of plays. To your point, all that makes sense to me. It did not work, and yet they still hung in there, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but it still came down to a 4th and 2 play pretty soon after that.
Think about this, Skip. As great as New Orleans is in that building, at that point in time, the Steelers had the lead. And while you say he's trying to send a message to his team, we're going for it, he's also sending a message to his defense. I don't believe in you guys because I don't want to put you guys back on the field. So I want to try to keep my offense on the field. So there are 2 messages I believe that he's sending. I just believe as well as his defense had played up until that point, make Drew Brees go 70, 80 yards as opposed to 50 yards. I didn't agree with the call at that time. It wasn't like they were going up and down the field, Skip.
Maybe I'm defending it because I like Mike Tomlin and I want to see him keep his job, and I'm not totally convinced he is. I'm pretty convinced, but now they're dangling, probably going to miss the playoffs, right?
They need help, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they need to win and then hope Baltimore loses,
Yeah.
or they can win and then the Titans and the Colts end in the tie.
Yeah.
And then they get into the playoffs.
It's not
That's a little
like
risky.
it's true. It's not like the Pittsburgh organization to fire a head coach because they just
Right.
don't
They
do
don't do
that,
that.
especially under these circumstances when they've been pretty good this year. Have they been a disappointment? Sure, they have.
Well, consider they've only had 3 since 1969.
There you go. So would they fire him in the offseason? I guess I wouldn't be shocked if they did, but go ahead.
I would be shocked. But Skip, I mean, look, the Steelers, you had a 3-game lead with 6 games to play. You can't lose to Denver. You can't lose to the Raiders when you have leads. You can't lose to Chargers when you got a 16-point lead at some point in the game. That can't happen. But yesterday, Skip, I thought their defense had really played well. I thought they had done a great job. Drew Brees was slightly off a little bit. He missed some throws that he normally makes, but I just thought at that point in the game, Mike, your defense is playing well. Show them that you still have confidence in them. Punt the ball and say, D, do what you've been doing the previous 3 possessions, and let's go on back to Pittsburgh with this win. I just thought he breathed life into the team.
If it had worked, would you criticize it?
No, for me, no, because I still don't like it. No, Skip. I'm criticizing because I thought they were playing well. Had they not been playing well, Skip, in a situation like what we see on that Monday night game between the Rams and the Kansas City,
Sure.
you can understand going for it, Skip, because nobody defense is stopping nobody.
True.
So if you get in a 4th down situation, your defense is really not going to stop them. I'm going for it. And you see the Rams do that an awful lot. They're going to try and steal a possession.
Yep.
But no, Skip, in this situation, I just thought they were playing well. They had the lead. It wasn't like they were down by 7. They were down by 10 points. They had the lead. So clearly, they had done something right up until that point. I just didn't like the fact that I thought it breathed the life back into the Saints.
Well, clearly it did because that happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to look at this game in the big picture. I told you on Friday I was going to pick a bunch of upsets, so I picked Ravens at Chargers, check. And then I picked Seahawks over Chiefs last night in Seattle, check. And I picked Pittsburgh over New Orleans in New Orleans, not check. But I will say, I thought the Steelers played great yesterday. I thought they would come in hot off beating New England, finally breaking through against the Patriots.
They did.
And I thought Pittsburgh deserved to win that game. If you want to say the coach stole it from them, you can say that. But I thought it was a shame that it came all the way down to Juju, who had a very good game playing injured. I didn't even know if he was going to play or not.
Right.
But he actually caught a ball that put them in field goal position with 41 seconds left, and then he's trying to do a little too much, and he loses the foot. Wasn't even stripped. He just lost the football.
But
and it was a shame that it ended that way.
What is 2 more yards going to do?
It doesn't do anything, but he's still a young kid.
Yes.
We've had him on the show,
Yes.
and he's just fighting his tail off trying to get an extra yard.
That's what he knows.
They didn't really know. They didn't need at that point.
Correct.
So now, after the aborted 4th down punt call, the fake punt call, let's go to what happens later in that series. It becomes 4th and 2 at the 26. And Drew Brees throws it to his guy, Michael Thomas, who had a very big game for the first time in a couple of games yesterday. And Joe Hayden was called for pass interference, and I thought it was ticky-tack at best. I couldn't see it. I didn't think he slingshotted himself by reaching around. I just thought he played it straight up and got a hand into the ball.
I think they called it before, Skip, because if you look, he snatches him down. He almost pulls him down. So I think that's what they called first.
They didn't call holding. They called pass interference.
That's what they should have called, because look what he does. He grabs him by his shoulder pads and he jerks him down.
No, I don't see a jerk down. I just saw him fighting across the top to get to the football. I didn't see him impede him. I didn't see a slingshot where he pulled from behind to throw himself. Yeah. I just didn't see that. And then if we can go to the other one that happened in the first quarter.
No, I don't agree with that one. I definitely don't
can we
Kamara.
see the one in the first quarter? It was just, this is the one in the first quarter is 4th down. This is 4th and 1. So this is for he's just throwing for all the marbles. And that's the most phantom. I immediately tweeted, that's the worst pass interference call I've seen all year.
Skip, that's the NBA call. You know how they get the
Like a hand
rebound?
call?
They get the rebound. He pushed him in the back. That's what Kamara did.
I mean,
He
this
didn't
is so
touch it.
bad. And remember, it's 3-0 Pittsburgh right now, and all of a sudden it's going to be 7-3 Saints, right? So those were two horrible calls. Come on.
Yeah.
Really? A game of this magnitude? You're going to give the home team 7 points, which did they not play in the end of the game? Yeah, that was a big 7 points you gave them. So, in the end, I don't know that I've ever seen Ben play better than that. I don't know that I've ever seen Antonio Brown play better than that. Did they not make big play after big play against a defense that's been really hot lately? Because I know the Saints have struggled on offense, but they haven't struggled on defense through the stretch, right?
Well, this is the kind of connection that we're used to seeing from Big Ben and AB. Now, he does have a bunch of touchdown catches this year, but the connection, and maybe it has to do with the emergence of Juju. Skip, I mean, Juju is coming on strong. I mean, he had 95 catches, I think 94, 95 catches going into the game. So clearly, teams are making a conscious effort to take away AB, and Big Ben is like, I got no problem. Juju, do this. So And yesterday, of the 33 completions being had, 25 of them went to those two guys. So basically, they're saying, look, they had AB doubled a lot of the days.
I thought they had him doubled the whole day. It's like what we were saying about Amari. It was classic, and I know these two have gone back and forth at each other, Ben and AB, all year. When push came to shove, Ben just said, I'm looking for 84, and I'm going to throw it where I think he might get it in double coverage, and he kept getting it in double coverage.
Skip, I'm going to say something that might be very unpopular, but I believe watching Marcus Lattimore play, and I watched him a lot last year, and he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. Skip, he rested on his laurels. He let the press, and he let everybody tell him how great he was. He's not the same guy that he was last year. There's no way you played that well as a rookie.
Yep.
That you come back and look this bad, because you're like, oh, man, whomever playing next to him. But he's as bad as the other guys. They have no problem throwing the ball. If you that guy, teams should fear throwing the ball in your direction, and they don't. They have no problem throwing the ball at Marcus Lattimore.
Well, they didn't yesterday.
Marshawn, excuse me, Marshawn Lattimore. He's not the same guy, and he should be better because you're Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm not seeing that same dog. I'm not seeing that same guy that I saw last year. They need to correct that. I'm telling you, Skip, you get into the playoffs, and Drew has a slightly off day because he was spectacular again, and that's the thing. 27 to 39, 326, touchdown. Man.
So are you saying that the New Orleans Saints, now invincible with home field all the way to the playoffs, are invincible? Are you saying they are invincible?
Yes.
I'd love to hear that because
not to y'all, though.
I could make a case that my Dallas Cowboys beat them 13-10. They could go right in there and they could march in on the Saints, right?
But here's the thing. Do you believe in that building, you're going to probably have to get to 27, 28 points. Do you believe your team can get to that number?
Yes, I do. Or my team can shorten the game like they did at Dallas.
Yeah.
They can play more 13-10-ish if they have to. I like my team in that matchup because they would have the blueprint and the confidence.
Unfortunately, you won't get there.
Well, how do you know we won't
Because
get
you're
there?
Duke freshmen. One and done.
Yep.
We don't have to bring
So
up
we'll
the
beat
playoff
Seattle first, and then I don't know how it would fall out.
You're not going to beat Seattle. You beat Seattle, then you're going on the road to New Orleans.
Okay, would that be next? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But if it is,
It would be.
we got this.
You're going home.
We got this.
You're going home.
The Saints are
Like
6-1 at home this season.
I know.
They've won the
Cooking.
last 6
Yep.
straight.
Cooking.
And Drew Brees and Sean Payton have never lost a playoff game together. 5-0
Is
there.
Quite the record.
And so you believe Coach Clapp.
I don't, but I told you we overcome him. We win in spite of. He gets to go along for a great ride thanks to my quarterback and my running back and my defense on occasion.
No. Right now, this is a defensive-based football team. This is a defensive-based football team.
Really?
Yes.
And they're 26th in the NFL on third downs allowed.
What are they in I don't care nothing about no first down. What are they in points allowed?
Fourth.
What do you score? Where are you in scoring?
All I know is we outscored Drew Brees 13-10 on a fateful Thursday night at Jerry World. Am I right? 13-10.
Your top
10. Drew Brees went 3 for 11 on third down against my team.
Like you asked me.
Yeah.
You feel good about this?
I do.
You're top 5 in
I
time
do.
of possession,
I
and
like
you're 26th, 27th in scoring points.
I like
You
it.
feel good about that?
Yes, I do.
No mercy.
I want to know how you feel about the Patriots because they are AFC East champs yet again. They beat the Bills yesterday to win the division. For the 10th straight year, Tom Brady only threw for 126 yards, had 2 interceptions, but the win did move New England into the 2 seed, and all they need is a win over the Jets next week to get a first-round bye. But, Shannon, how far can Brady take the Patriots?
This Tom Brady, not very far.
This Tom.
Skip, they do better when they run the football. Now, the likelihood of them running the football like they ran it yesterday, and I guess they saw something that they liked because Buffalo was, the number 1 pass defense in all of football, number 2 pass defense, and they're like, okay, you're that good at the pass, let's see how you hold up against the run. But, Skip, I don't care how much you love Tom. Skip, he does not look the same. He does not. You watch him, 9 touchdowns in his last 8 games. He's under 55% for the 3rd time this year in a game. He's lost the other 2.
Yep.
He was 7 of 19, 37%
Yep.
when throwing to the wide receivers or tight end. Think about it, Skip.
Okay.
So the other pass that he completed was to the running back. He only attempted two passes of 10 yards or more down the field. Both were incomplete. Skip, Tom Brady's not the same. He's not. So now,
Who's he throwing to? Help me out.
the same guys he was throwing to when he had all those touchdowns and no interceptions.
Really?
The same guys that he was throwing to when he outgunned Patrick Mahomes. The same guys when he outgunned Aaron Rodgers. Those are the guys he's throwing to.
Is Josh Gordon still? Did he play yesterday?
He did
You
not.
told me Josh Gordon had a piano in his
No,
back.
you told me that.
And you-
I didn't say it.
And
You
echo-
said it.
And you echoed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just repeated it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the Hall of
Said that
Famers
around
said.
here.
Oh, so now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skip, let's be real, Skip. Tom doesn't look the same to you. You know that. I read a quote that Rodney Harrison. Now, I don't know if he's a Patriot guy. Rodney played the bulk of his career in San Diego, and he was a heck of a safety, played a number of years against him. He says, I've never, ever seen Tom Brady look like this. Now, is he a hater? Does he have an axe to grind?
No.
Is he jealous? Skip, he's not the same, Skip. He's not the same guy. He doesn't look the same. And so with that being said, this Tom Brady can't lead them. If Sonny Michel and Burkhead and James White and Patterson,
Yeah.
they're going to run the ball like this here, sure. But Skip, I'm telling you, it's gradual. It wasn't, see, everybody wants to look at the last year that Peyton played. But there were some games down the stretch of the year before that we started to see this, but because his numbers were so good, he still threw for 39 touchdowns. We overlooked it. It wasn't until he literally stepped off the cliff. But see, Coach Belichick is the type of guy, Coach Belichick sees the check engine light comes on. He's going to take it to the I'm not going to say mechanic because people say mechanic is a derogatory term. Auto technician. But see, a lot of these Brady zealots, that's what you call them, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
They want the tires to fall off and the transmission to drop on the dirt before it's time to get a new car. Coach Belichick says, nah, the check engine light on, let me take it to the auto technician to see what's going on. Skip Bayless, your eyes, you say you got good eyes.
Wait, he wanted to take Tom Brady to the junkyard a year ago.
No.
Junkyard.
We were going to get off and we get a good price.
Oh, I
Because
thought he was just going
if the transmission is on the dirt and I got 4 flats and the windows are bust out, people are not going to give it to me. Give me the money that I deserve for my car if it's running fine and just, only got a couple more years on it.
Yep. Tell me when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the Philadelphia Eagles for doing what they did to the Houston Texans yesterday and catapulting Tom Brady's team back into the 2 seed in the AFC, which means, Shannon Sharpe, as you well know, they're going to, if they beat the Jets this Sunday at home, they're going to have a week off and a home game and only 1 road game to get to the Super Bowl. And that could change because there could be a big upset because we know the AFC is wide open right now. Does Kansas City impress you? Did the Chargers impress you on Saturday night? No. So all of a sudden, is it possible that whoever winds up with the 1 seed, maybe it looks like it'll be Kansas City, could they be upset at home by somebody?
Absolutely.
Sure they could. By the Chargers, who already beat them at home? Sure they could. And could that mean that Tom Brady would get to host the AFC Championship game yet again? It's possible. So I would like to congratulate the Patriots on catapulting back into the 2 seed. I would also like to, before I get to my thesis statement here, I would also like to congratulate Tom Brady on a staggering achievement. If we knock out the 1 year that he missed because of injury, which was 2008, he was hurt in the first quarter of the first game that year, do you realize he has won the AFC East 15 straight years if we knock that one out?
Yes.
15 years in a row to win a division? Do you realize the NFC East hasn't had a repeat winner in 14 seasons? So that's how hard that is to do. 15 straight years he's won the East. It's not that good this year, but there's a number of other years.
It's never been good.
No, I think it's been good, boy, when Rex was there.
They hadn't been good since the Colts, they reconfigured it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, let's just congratulate. I know I'm the only one or one of the few in the media who will take time to pause and say congratulations, Tom Brady, for that.
If you combine division titles and Super Bowl titles, Tom Brady has appeared in 22 straight division or Super Bowl. Stop it, Skip.
Is anybody in football history from here on out, we'll never know, but is that a record that will never be broken? That's a record.
Probably so.
Probably so. Thank you very much.
Will never be broken.
So what clearly happened yesterday was that Bill Belichick laid down the pregame law, and that team was shook up without Josh Gordon. That was a shocking development. And he said, you know what? Today we are going to go out and pound the rock on a defense that had allowed the second fewest yards in pro football, and to your point, had the top-ranked pass defense.
Yeah.
So they go out and they run the ball 47 times, and they let Tom Brady throw it only 24 times. So
They shouldn't let him do that much,
24.
considering how he looked throwing it.
So, and to your point, would you believe that Tom Brady threw 0 passes to any wide receiver except his slot receiver, Julian Edelman? Have you ever heard of that before? That shows you how the 3 guys from Dorchester would have been a big improvement over what he had yesterday.
You need to stop.
Because Julian Edelman is 32 years of age. Clearly, he's not what he used to be coming off his complete ACL rupture.
So only Julian.
So do you realize that's the only receiver he targeted? The only wide receiver he targeted was Julian Edelman. Did you see Chris Hogan get a target yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you see Philip Dorsett get a target? They got 0 and 0.
Yep.
And that leads me to the Frankenstein monster who is now
Don't
the
do
tight
that,
end.
Skip.
He moves like Frankenstein. Me, Frankenstein. He's stiff.
hurt.
He can't
He's
move.
hurt.
He can't jump.
hurt.
And it was just pathetic what happened. Brady tried to throw him 3 balls yesterday, and he caught how many? How about 0?
He's hurt.
So
Skip.
there's nobody to
Same.
throw it to. And I'm back to the classic Giselle comment after the second Eli Super Bowl. He can't throw it to himself. Can he, Shannon Sharpe? Right?
Skip,
I love
man.
that comment.
Can I ask you a question, Skip? This is what I don't understand.
Can't throw it to himself.
He can't throw it to himself. But help me understand this. This is what, and I'm having a hard time understanding this. Julian Edelman at 32 is clearly not what he used to be.
Yep.
But Tom Brady at 41 is. So everybody else can age in the world except Tom Brady.
Well, clearly, we've seen them do this many times before on big Sunday night games at Indianapolis. I remember where Belichick just laid down the law. We are going to run the football. Did Tom Brady protest? No, he's a team player.
How you gonna protest throwing 2 picks? Coach Belichick said I should have let him run it 60 times.
Thank you for bringing up those picks. Let's look at them, shall we? Let's look at pick number 1 to Rex Burkhead, who missed 8 games this year and has little to no rapport in the passing game with Tom Brady. So Brady throws it where he thinks Burkhead's going, and Burkhead goes the other way. He zigged when he should have zagged. He zagged out.
Hold on, Skip. Hold on.
And he throws it right to the safety, who's like, me? I got it?
Rex Burkhead is, without me knowing the route, but it looks like to me they're running an angle route. And I guess he has an option. He sees the guy inside. So I'm an option away from the guy inside.
I don't know. The guy was way back inside. He was 5 yards deep, and it looked like it was going to be a 5-yard completion, which is part of the run game that they did yesterday to Rex Burkhead. And did Brady obviously throw it to a spot that he thought Burkhead was going to?
Well, maybe
was
he
that
didn't
a
see the
bad
back.
throw?
Yes.
No, it was not a bad throw.
Yes.
Was it off target, inaccurate? It was not.
Skip.
It was not.
You saw that
That's
guy
classic.
inside.
Who do you think made the right choice on that play?
I'm going to go
the
with
running
Burkhead.
back or
I'm going to go with Burkhead.
Are you?
I'm going to go with Burkhead.
Or the quarterback who's simply the
Burke.
greatest player in the history of pro football. You're going Burkhead. I think you're totally wrong. Now let's go
Look
to
at him
interception.
with his arm folded over like he look at him pouting, Jenny. You see that? Standing with his arm. I mean, I'm bad.
I see
Can
it.
we please go to interception number 2 to the Frankenstein monster? Catch it! He just hit you right in the hands, Gronk, and it
Look at
went
it.
right through your
Unfold
hands.
your arms,
Catch
Tom
the
Brady.
football.
Unfold your
Look
arms,
at this.
Tom.
Look at Gronk. Oh, that's the first one. Here we go. Gronkowski. Catch it! Did he not hit him right in the hands?
He did.
How can that be an interception?
I want Tom Brady to unfold his
That's
arms.
what's
I'd be
left.
mad too.
That's the shell of himself who was
Whoa,
Rob Gronkowski.
Hold on, time out.
What are you
noticed-
doing?
Hold on. I noticed you didn't say a word last week when Aaron Rodgers hit Jimmy Graham right in his hands. The ball caroms off his hands and it gets picked by Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears. You didn't say a word.
I don't talk about irrelevant out of the playoff teams. Am I right? I don't talk about them. And by the way, in overtime, somehow Aaron said, I was the leader of this team yesterday. I'm going to show him,
Why
bring
you
him
talking
back.
about him? Don't talk about the goat. Don't talk
I'm going
about
to bring
goat.
this team back against the Jets.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring them back
He
for
said-
no reason
he
at all.
said 20 years
Yeah.
from now, I don't want them to think I quit on my team.
Yeah, and
That's a leader.
in overtime, he threw it to whom? He threw it to his Pro Bowl receiver, Devontae. And let me ask a question. Does Tom Brady have a Devontae? I don't think he has a Devontae.
Hold on, Skip.
He has nobody. He's got a Julian.
Down.
He's got a
Down
little
18
Julian.
points. Down 18 points on the road.
He's got a former quarterback at Kent State, right? A quarterback taken in the 7th round. That's his wideout.
When the last time
was Devontae Adams taken high in the draft? Yes, he was.
Aaron Rodgers said, "Man, I sure wish I had me a running game that can get me 273
Interesting.
on the ground."
Yeah.
So, what do I always tell you, Mr. Sharpe? There's one man, there are several, but there's one man for sure I never bet against. And that guy is 41 years of age and plays quarterback for the New England Patriots. Yeah, LeBron James.
Yeah,
I would have bet against him last night because, that's 91 all, and you can't bring it home against Memphis. Memphis has lost 4 in a row. 4 in a row.
We talking about Tom Brady.
Okay, you brought it up, and I
didn't bring up
finished it
anything.
off. So, here's the point. There's something about this team where defensively they played pretty well against a rookie quarterback who has no idea what he's doing. He cannot throw the football. He can run it a little bit, but he can't throw it. But still, if you give them a week to get completely healthy, and by the way, his other receiver, quote unquote, that he lost was the kick returner, Cordero. He hurt his knee. He said after the game he's going to be okay. But let them get healthy. They got to beat the Jets. And again, that's no walk in the park, no cinch. But if they beat the Jets and they get a week off for a home playoff game, I'm not off the bandwagon. I still believe in number 41. Did he play great yesterday? He did not. Did he get any help?
No, don't do that.
No help. No help.
See, Skip, this is what I want to allow you to do. And see, this is what I want to allow a lot of the Brady zealots to do. Because the same guys that he's throwing to when he outgunned Mahomes and he outgunned Rodgers, those were the guys that were on the field against Buffalo. So you can't say they're
But not Josh Gordon. Who broke the Aaron Rodgers game open? Josh Gordon, right?
Really, Skip?
Well, what do you mean, really? Yes, really.
So how many Super Bowls has Tom Brady gone to and won without Josh Gordon?
Well, obviously, they didn't have anybody. Where's Brandon Cooks now? Where is he?
He won a Super
Where's Danny Amendola?
Hold on, Skip.
Gone.
He won a Super Bowl. You said he played the greatest fourth quarter in overtime in Super Bowl history. Without Gronk.
Yeah.
He threw for 500 yards without Edelman.
Yeah.
Now he has these guys, and now they're trash.
Yeah.
No, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. Don't poo-poo on them now.
All I know is I'm not giving up on Tom Brady because I don't bet against him, but I am betting against Bill Belichick. And why he yanked Tom Brady with 6:39 left in the game, I don't know.
Did you see the way he was playing?
I thought it was classic Belichick.
Did you see the
versus
way
Brady.
he was playing?
I don't care. It was 24-6.
Did you? Okay, we'll get him up out of there.
That's like Dak
Stanking
Prescott.
it up.
Yeah.
Stanking it up.
Yeah. Well, there was a 4th and 4 play to Edelman that he threw right on the money for a touchdown. Remember that? Where he just vaulted over the 2 DBs for a touchdown. That's 4th and 4. Was that not on the money?
Whoa!
See, he makes all the plays you have to
That's
make.
an Edelman. That's an Edelman. That's not what he used to be. Hold on, now you praising him.
Was it not a great throw?
Skip, it was a routine throw.
Clutch? Yeah.
So now you like Edelman. Because he made that play. Because just before you said he washed up, he was a college quarterback.
Well, he was. That's all you got. But you know what? Give him a week off to figure out Philip Dorsett, Chris Hogan. I don't know. Maybe they'll go sign somebody.
If he hadn't figured them out yet, he ain't going to figure them out.
Boy,
He's been with Hogan for 3 years.
Yeah.
He's had Dorsett, OTAs, had him last year. So he knows what he's got.
Well, somehow Tom Brady played quarterback in their position to have the 2 seed in the AFC. I'd say that's pretty great.
Everybody laid an egg. San Diego laid an egg thanks to Baltimore. Baltimore had something to do with them laying that egg.
Yep.
The Texans laid an egg.
You better be careful.
I tell you what.
You're going to have to eat some more crow.
I tell you what. You know, and you would not like this matchup. You do not want to see Baltimore going to New England.
I agree. But
you do not want to see that.
They do have a rookie quarterback, and that's the only advantage that New England would have.
And they will make.
And I
Tom
love
Brady
the
like
rookie quarterback.
Interesting
but he
about
is
the
a
rookie QB.
Yeah.
Tom has never lost to a rookie at home.
Yes, he did. Joe Flacco.
He wasn't a rookie, though, was he?
Oh, he wasn't?
As a rookie?
I don't think he was a rookie.
That might have been.
But at home.
We're gonna have to look
10-0.
We're going to get him.
You don't trust
Joe
trust my
Flacco.
numbers,
Joe
Shannon?
Cool.
I'll see if I can
Joe
find
Cool's
out
coming
for you.
back for the playoffs?
Nope.
Oh.
Joe Cool. It's hard for me to believe Joe Cool is taking another slap at the Ravens unless Lamar Jackson gets hurt.
Done.
Okay, we're going to move away from the NFL right now to LeBron James. He made some controversial comments this weekend, and we will discuss all that next.
no mercy.
LeBron James found himself in some controversy this weekend. Last night, he apologized for a video he posted to Instagram with the lyrics to a 21 Savage song that said, quote, "We've been getting that Jewish money. Everything is kosher." LeBron said, "I apologize if I offended anyone. It was definitely not the intent to hurt anybody." This came after LeBron called out NFL owners on Friday on his HBO show. In the latest episode of The Shop, LeBron said, quote, "In the NFL, they got a bunch of old white men owning teams, and they got that slave mentality. And it's like, this is my team. You do what the bleep I tell y'all to do, or we get rid of y'all." So, Shannon, what is your reaction to all of this?
Well, let me take the lyric, the verse from the rap lyric 21 Savage. LeBron immediately, I guess it came to his attention that was viewed as derogatory or negative or it offended some. And he immediately said, "I apologize." Now, ticky-tack says if. Clearly, you're apologizing, so it wasn't if, you did. And I like the fact, Skip, because a lot of times, sometimes we say things or we do things and we dig in. Oh, we've gotten so politically correct. You just want to get your point out and stand on your point. And I tell people this all the time. If you are the offending party, you don't get to tell me what's offensive, and you don't get to tell me how I should feel. I'm telling you this hurt me. Sorry, apologize, and keep it moving. That's it. But don't stand there and I don't know why you offended. I don't know why you offended. I don't know why this and that. No, that's not for you to decide. So I'm glad LeBron was like, showed a lot of maturity here. LeBron posts, I follow LeBron on all his social media platforms, and he does. He posts a lot of rap lyrics. He posts a lot of songs, and some have explicit lyrics. Okay, fine. If you want to go dig up that and find and say LeBron shouldn't be posting that, it's not like you have to go looking for it. I like the fact, Skip, that he apologized. And I believe him when he says he thought it was a compliment. I believe him. But that's neither here nor there. Ignorance is no excuse. It's not, you should have known. It's kind of like parking there. Well, I didn't know it was a fire hydrant there. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Just because you didn't know it was offensive, hey, he said something or he posted something, Skip, it was deemed offensive. He apologized for it. Move on. Okay, you can forgive him or you cannot. About this comment, Skip, here's the thing. Anytime you talk about slavery or the Holocaust and it's not in a historical perspective and you compare it, you always going to get blowback. You already know it's going to get blowback, Skip. Anytime you compare those two acts and you compare it to something else, you're going to get blowback. I understand what he's saying. He's not saying because clearly, Skip, the NFL is not slavery because the guys get paid. Slaves did not make a wage. No matter how good Master Tom had it for you, he gave you lodging or he fed you, you still was not free to move about as you saw fit.
Nope.
You did not earn money. So I get what he's saying. He's saying the mentality is this. This is the way we do things. You either toe the line. Jerry Jones said it. This is my stage.
You
either go toe the line or you're going to get on from here. Skip, I told a story about how my grandmother told me the story when she was a young girl. My great-grandmother, Grandma Lou, my grandma's sister, Annie Mae, they lived on someone's property, and for living on their property, they washed the clothes, they did the house cleaning, they did the cooking. My grandmother worked 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Sunday was the day off, so they thought. They went to church. My grandma and them get back, and they know how in the black community we go to church. You go to church a long time. You get there at 9, you're not come home at 3:30, 4 o'clock. My grandma and them come home. They walk home. The lady bring 3-4 loads of clothes. Lou, I'm gonna need you to wash these clothes and have them back to me at the end of the day. Grandma Lou, my great-grandmother, says, me and the girls tired. We just got back from church, but we'll be there bright and early and we'll have them to you. The lady tells my great-grandmother, Lou, if you don't have these clothes back to me by the end of the day, you and the girls are gonna have to move on. You see the mentality, Skip? Do what I say, when I say, or you got to get on. That's the mentality. That's what LeBron is saying. He's not saying it's slavery. He's saying it's the way they think, is that they can control you. And see, in the NBA, maybe they're more progressive. And maybe it has a lot to do with Adam Silver, because it's hard for me to believe, Skip, that there is an owner that could have said something or done something that Donald Sterling did, and the NFL would have taken the steps that the NBA did to remove him. It's hard for me to believe that. Now, maybe that's maybe that's all Adam Silver versus Roger Goodell. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. But it seems to me that the NBA players, Skip, have a better working relationship with the owners and the commissioner than they have in the NFL. They don't every chance they get take shots at the commissioner, take shots at their owners. Yeah. They don't normally do that. So I get what LeBron was saying. But again, when you mention slavery and you mention the Holocaust, Skip, and you don't put it in a historical context, but you compare it, there's where you always, and I hate using the term always and every, but you're always going to get blowback if you use it, slavery, in a comparison aspect.
So there's a lot going on here.
Yes.
So let's start with issue number 1, which you finished with. And I always defer to you on this. I can't begin to feel what you feel about slavery, but I know what I feel about slavery, and I feel deep-rooted shame that my distant forefathers treated black people that way. It was evil, and it was so wrong. And even when many of the slaves were freed, they were treated in very evil ways. There were hangings, there was torture. It's just, it's almost unspeakable what happened through that period.
Correct.
Have we come a long ways? Yeah, we have. Do we have a long way? Yes, we do.
Correct.
So this is just me speaking as a white guy. Every time I hear that reference from a black or a white guy, I just cringe at it, because obviously you can't compare what those slaves went through to what NFL players are going through. But I like the essence of LeBron's point. There's validity to his overreaching, overarching point about NFL owners.
Correct.
I like what Dr. Harry Edwards calls it, which is more of a plantation mentality.
Correct.
We don't pin it just on the way the slaves were treated. It's just that white owner, that white billionaire mentality, and they're right about that.
Right.
It operates far more. It's more suffocating in the NFL than it is in the more enlightened NBA.
Correct.
Now, that brings me to the second issue. My first question is, what is LeBron doing right now? I've always called him the best role model in sports, and I think he doesn't want to be that anymore. Help me out here, because when you continue to post these rap lyrics, and again, you're trying to reach the kids. You want the kids to connect with you. And I think LeBron, as he ages in year 16, he wants to show he still has a lot of kid in him, and he does have a lot of kid. And he's very close with his kids, and by all the things that he posts, he's a great father. We get that. Yeah. But he constantly drops F-bombs everywhere, and I just don't love it when it's hard for me to continue to call him a role model when you're going to quote those explicit lyrics, and on your show, The Shop, you're just going to drop F-bomb after F-bomb. It's the way he talks, I'm sure, off camera, and so he's being real.
Right.
But it's so real that it disqualifies you as a role model, and I'm not sure what the message is of it. I don't know what his new MO is here. What's he trying to achieve? Does it make him more popular that way? I think he has a lot of frustrated rapper in him, don't you think? No, seriously.
Well, I mean, rappers rap about what they see, what they've experienced.
Yeah.
A lot of them rap about the community which they came up in and the life that they had growing up. Now, and when they become successful, they rap about the women and the champagne and the watches and the cars. Okay, fine. And LeBron, LeBron's like, hold on. I kind of grew up like that.
He kind of did.
I didn't have anything.
Yep.
I come from a single parent.
I'm with you.
I came from the struggle.
Right.
So it resonates with him.
Okay, but he hasn't risen above it. He seems to want to go back to his roots and play in that area more, which is fine. I'm not condemning. I'm just saying, who are you? Help me out here. Do you want to be the role model in the face of the NBA, or do you want to be that guy? I'm not sure. And that guy's very real. He's being more real than he's ever been.
Well, that's the thing is, Skip, if you go back to the shop, when you get to the barbershop, that's when you have real, authentic conversation.
I would say.
So he's having real, because
we have that right here, but we stop short of the F-bombs, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And I think the thing for him, if LeBron were to go to the barbershop and he's like, and it was generic, they're like, that's not real. Because
okay, I'm with you. I got it.
But the comments in which you made, do you understand what he's saying about the mentality,
of which?
The plantation, about the...
I got that, but I'm going on to the Jewish money.
Okay, Jewish money, okay.
So the irony here is that a LeBron James, who has been so beautifully outspoken on social justice issues,
correct,
he's taken such courageous and eloquent stands, that he stepped in this, that he's guilty of what he abhors about others who are racist, right? What do you always tell me about racists? They can be naive, they can be blind. They eventually, if you watch closely and listen closely enough, they will reveal their racism. Am I right?
Correct.
You have a line about that. I can't remember.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes.
Well, I could say the same thing about LeBron on being an anti-Semite. Did he expose himself, or was it just naive? Does he not understand just how deeply he could offend some in the Jewish community with this?
I don't think he did, because I think, like he said, he thought it was playing him a compliment because they were well off, and now I'm well off. And I'm saying, I get it, Skip. Look, I can't excuse what he said because he didn't know. Because you can't
That's
say,
what I mean.
because
But sometimes we talk about naive racists. They just didn't understand. Oh, well, black people don't like it if you say that.
Right.
Really? I didn't know that.
Right.
You say, yeah, you're a racist at heart because you didn't get it.
Right.
You didn't want to get it.
Well, I think the thing for him is what leads me to, he apologized without explanation.
Yep.
He didn't try to explain why he said it.
No.
He's like, I'm sorry.
I don't like the if I offended anybody, but whatever. At least he tried. He tried. I'm with you.
That's the only thing.
Yep.
If he'd have just removed, I offended people, some people
just
took
say,
my...
I'm sorry I said that.
Boom.
Yep. Okay,
Done.
and let me quote something ESPN had this morning in its story from a Yale professor. This was back in August, and the professor said, historically, Jewish materialism was used by anti-Semites seeking to demean the value of Judaism. And I know that's deep, but that operates in the Jewish community. And my friend Darren Ravel, who used to be at ESPN, was sort of at the forefront of the charge against this on social media. And one of his tweets in response to one of his followers was, go find a Jew and read this, these quotes to him, these lyrics. Anyone, Adam Silver, Dan Gilbert, David Stern, then tell me how they reacted and come back to me, because Darren was very offended by this.
Right.
So to your point, if one person's offended,
That's good
you're
enough for
wrong.
me.
You're wrong.
That's good enough for me.
Okay, got it. And I know that a number of rappers will use references to Jewish money, so it's not just 21 Savage, but LeBron's a little naive. He's still being a little childlike to think that wouldn't offend somebody if you just repeat it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, in the Jewish community, like, we're more than just wealthy. We're just more than money.
Yeah.
And LeBron is looking at like, well, I thought it was a compliment because, this and this and this, but no. Darren Ravel, clearly by his tweet, he's offended.
He's offended.
And if, like I said, Skip, if one person is offended by something I said, now, don't be mad because I said your team isn't very good or a player isn't very good. I don't care if I offend you in that aspect.
Yep.
But if I said something that you deem is derogatory about your race, your religion, your ethnicity, or your orientation, okay, bring it to my attention. I'm going to apologize, no question.
Yep.
This ain't about being PC.
No.
This is not about being right. This is not about standing my ground, or I got First Amendment rights to stand on. It's not about that. You deem what I said inappropriate, I apologize. Not if, I apologize. Wasn't my intent. Boom, I'm moving on.
Okay. So LeBron had some weekend because on Friday he was accused by some anonymous GMs of tampering with Anthony Davis.
Correct.
And then he takes a very controversial shot, but a legitimate shot, I feel like, at NFL owners.
Right.
And then he quotes Jewish money lyrics from 21 Savage, and that explodes. So that's quite a 3 days, man.
And look
he is the drama king,
Skip,
right?
Look how the NBA, what was deemed as hood or ghetto or thuggish with the hoodies.
Yeah.
The NBA has a uniform. The official uniform that they warm up in has what, Skip? A hoodie.
Okay, I'm with you.
It's just LeBron has 45.8 million Instagram followers, so you have to remember that's the most of any American athlete.
Bro, let your boy get like 5 million of those so Skip can't catch
Everything he
me.
says, does, critiques, wears,
Yeah.
we are not going to miss it. It's a good reminder of that. You want to steal some of those followers? Is that the plan?
LeBron, let your boy get like 5 million of them.
Okay.
He
I hope
might
he's
donate
watching.
to you.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the NFL. Is Patrick Mahomes still the MVP
My
favorite?
homeboy.
Yep, here we
Well,
go.
apparently, still on Shannon's side.
Yep.
We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
The Seahawks beat the Chiefs last night to clinch a wild card berth. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes, but he lost his 4th straight game in primetime. Mahomes entered the weekend as the MVP favorite, and Kansas City still controls their own destiny for the top seed in the AFC. Shannon.
Yes.
Is Homeboy still your MVP?
Absolutely. It's just,
Absolutely?
Absolutely, Skip Bayless.
Man, I got to get a new TV.
Yeah, you don't need to get a new TV. Yeah. Hopefully that way you don't have to watch Kansas City's defense play. Skip, he's 16 more touchdowns, 800 more yards. I mean, he's 48-11. KC's defense is terrible, Skip. They're 31st in pass defense. They're 29th in scoring defense, 28th in rushing defense. And New Orleans has a top 10 scoring defense. Let this sink in. Patrick Mahomes in his 4 losses is averaging 37.5 points, 336 yards. He's thrown 15 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. The defense is giving up 40 points in those 4 losses. Let that sink in for a second, Skip Bayless. Think about that. You're scoring 37.5 points, 336. You're throwing about 4 touchdowns a game, but your defense is giving up 40 points a game. That's terrible, Skip. Looking at the Saints, Skip, what are the Saints? Are they a passing team? They're 11th in passing. They're 11th in rushing. The tandem of Kamara and Mark Ingram leads the league, might be the best tandem of running backs in football. So it's just hard for me to believe that a guy that's thrown for 48-11, Drew Brees is what, 30, he's 16, so 32-5. Skip, I get it. It'll be a great night. I mean, Drew Brees has never won the MVP. If he doesn't win it this year, that's not how the MVP is supposed to work. This is not a lifetime achievement award. This is not a career accomplishment. This season, statistically, I feel very comfortable in saying he's going to get 50. He's going to get 2 touchdowns against the Raiders. He'll throw for 170 plus yards and be 50, so 50 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards. The only other 2 guys have done that: Peyton Manning, MVP; Tom Brady, MVP. It's just Tom did not throw for the year that he got 50 touchdowns. He didn't throw for 5,000 yards. But to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns in a single season, Skip, that means something. And I think he's had the better year. He can't do anything about his defense. I mean, last night, Skip, look at that. They go right down the field. He goes down the field against Kansas City, ties the ball game. What do they do? 7 plays, 6 yards, poof, Tom Brady in the end zone, win the game. That's unacceptable. Pat Mahomes, boy, should win the MVP, and it shouldn't be close.
So you asked me to let that sink in, so I'm letting it sink, and I think Patrick Mahomes is sunk in the MVP race. That's what I think. Drew Brees just won the MVP with a big stage performance in what became the game of their year this year at home. And he did so with a closing touchdown drive to win the game over Ben Roethlisberger, playing one of the greatest games of his career. It was a classic shootout, and Drew Brees won the shootout. And he has edged slightly ahead of Patrick Mahomes in QBR. They're both at 81.9, but just by decimal points, Drew Brees is slightly ahead. And by the way, he's 32 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions versus 11 for Patrick Mahomes, and those 5 are tied for second fewest in the league.
What are we going to do about those extra 16 touchdowns? Are we going to do anything about those?
What are we going to do about 13-2 and home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs? What are we going to do about odds-on favorite to win it all, Drew Brees' team?
What?
Kind of came from nowhere.
Okay.
Nobody probably saw that coming, except we did pick them to win the NFC.
But here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the Raiders are going to beat Kansas City in Kansas City on Sunday?
Do
you believe that?
No.
So they'll have home field advantage.
No, but not with that kind of record. By the way, the Kansas City Chiefs have now lost 3 of their last 5, and they were in danger of losing at Oakland, and they barely pulled that out 40-33, and they were really in danger of losing to Lamar Jackson down 24-17 when Patrick Mahomes ran to the sidelines, closed his eyes, and flung it across his chest back into the middle of the field.
So that was a signature moment, huh?
It was an Eli Manning Super Bowl moment to David Tyree, and it would have been fitting if it had stuck in Tyreek's face mask. Remember Tyree and Tyreek, right?
Stop it,
to
Skip.
Tyrese, right?
Stop it.
There you go. So let's look at what Patrick Mahomes has now done in his big stage, solo stage night games.
Tell me about it.
Sunday night at New England. Who won that game? Not Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, whoa. Can you tell the people at home what his defense gave up? How many points did they give up?
Know.
You know,
I only know he lost.
Okay, they gave up 43 points. Go ahead.
Okay. Then Monday night at the Los Angeles Rams, Patrick Mahomes was horrendous in that game with 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers?
478, 6 tubs.
Yeah. He even gave up a strip sack, scoop and score,
So,
right?
54.
Wow.
54 points. Okay, go ahead.
Now, that was a Monday night. Now we go to Thursday night at home against the LA Chargers. You can't spit the bit in that game, can you? Yes, he did. He lost that one to Phillip Rivers. No good.
What did defense give up?
Well, I don't know. I'm just talking about Patrick Mahomes.
A game-winning touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Tom Brady doesn't lose those games.
Whoa. Hold on, Skip. Hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
Now, you told me Coach Belichick lost his fastball because Coach Belichick gave up 43 to Philly in the Super Bowl. He threw for 505. And you told me that Tom Brady, that Coach Belichick should be ashamed of himself.
Should have been fired.
Hold on.
Did you see what Malcolm Butler did Saturday night? Did you see what he did Saturday night to end the Washington game?
The game was already over.
Did you see he pick sixed it?
Think about that.
Malcolm Butler lives.
Skip.
He's playing for Tennessee.
Pat Mahomes' defense gave up 43 and 54. And you expect him to win, but not Tom Brady.
I got to ask you, Shannon.
Okay,
this is a problem. So he plays on Sunday night L, Monday night L, Thursday night L, Sunday night again L. Those are bad looks for the quote-unquote MVP case that Shannon Sharpe is trying to make. I can't roll with it.
Let me
I'm
ask you a
sorry.
question, Skip.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do for you, Skip. I'm going to say every 4th game, I'm going to let you're going to have, at the end of those 4 games, you'll have 15 touchdowns with 5 picks, average 336. How many times, if you end with a 12-4 record, how many times do you think you'd win the MVP?
I don't know, but Drew Brees obviously made more plays than Patrick Mahomes.
So if somebody threw for 60 touchdowns with 20 interceptions, and they finished with 12-4, do you believe they would win the MVP? Because that's what Pat Mahomes. Think about that, Skip Bayless.
You know, here we go again. This is the Aaron Rodgers syndrome because you like beauty pageants. If we're going, who's going to win the beauty pageant? I'll give you Mahomes. He's got the highlight plays. He's got the trending plays. He's got the no looks.
You make it seem like he's going to miss the playoffs.
He threw one yesterday. I'm running left, and I'm going to lean sideways and throw. I'm going to flip it sidearm.
If you don't mind me asking.
Okay? Way to go.
If you don't mind me asking.
Drew Brees doesn't do that. He just completes them on time.
How many games did Tom Brady lose last year and won the MVP?
I don't know. I don't really care. He's not in this discussion right
And why is he not in this discussion?
Well,
thank you very much. I just wanted you to.
He is the 2 seed. Maybe he should be.
I just wanted to hear you say that. That's all I wanted to hear you do, Skip. No, nothing. No further questions, Jonna. But you know my homeboy, Skip. Come on, Skip. The man is 40.
You know what's going to happen. It's just like, here we go again with the Heisman Trophy.
Lifetime achievement
you want to end it. You want to end it early, premature. And all of a sudden, Kyler Murray keeps doing that and that and that. And Drew Brees did that yesterday. That ended it because narrative does operate. And the narrative is that on January 15th, not very far from now, not very long from now, Drew Brees is going to turn 40 years of age.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is somewhat of a career achievement because he's never won one of these. And he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Fame. No, but this one he should win.
Okay.
I mean, you make
it seem like he was slighted. You make it seem like it was Denzel in Training Day or Denzel in Hurricane when Son of a Woman won or American Beauty. It wasn't one of those situations, Skip Bayless.
God, I love Training Day.
So good.
I'd watch it tonight.
He won for that.
I know.
But he didn't win for Hurricane.
No,
he didn't win for Malcolm X. He should have won for Malcolm X too.
I agree.
But that's not here today. Drew Brees has had.
Drew Brees is going to win this.
No, he's not. My homeboy.
No, I'm sorry. You hung on too long. It's
Skip,
okay.
Skip,
it's okay.
Think about this, Skip. He's 16 clear, 800 yards.
He's got a long career. He'll win his MVP.
Oh, you see what I'm saying, Jenny? He
does have a long career.
Skip, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
You know that.
He does lead the league in highlight plays, though. I give you that.
I mean, dropping on my arm angles like that. What are you supposed to do with his defense, Skip? His defense, you see that? Did you see what his defense doing?
Boy, his defense can rush the passer, though, can't they?
Really?
Yeah.
Really, Skip
Yeah.
Bayless?
Well, they got after.
How you rush the passer so good and give up 40 points in those losses?
I don't know.
I know. Did you see that back end?
Yeah.
That secondary is terrible.
Drew Brees' defense gave up 429 yards at home yesterday. You like that? I don't like that.
How many yards you said Drew Brees' defense gave up?
429. Yeah.
Hold on.
See, I got you on that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I got you on that.
Oh, no, you don't got
Okay.
that. Hold up. 429.
Yeah. 429. Huh.
Oh, what you call Pat Mahomes' defense gave up 464. What am I supposed to do with that? How many points did they give up?
I forget what the score
Their
was.
defense gave up 38. Drew Brees' defense gave up how many, Skip?
I forget
28.
the scores.
Now, which is more? Now, Jen, I wasn't good at math. Because once I couldn't use scratch paper or count on my fingers, the numbers did me no good. So is 38 more than 28?
It is.
Huh? Now, you told me that Skip Bayless, now he banged on his desk and said he called for Coach Belichick's job after he won 5 Super Bowls because he gave up 43 points.
Yep.
Well, Patrick Mahomes' defense is averaging giving up 40 in the losses.
So, Pro Football Focus gives Drew Brees the highest passer grade in the league this year and gives Drew Brees the highest offensive overall grade this year. I don't know. What am I supposed to do with
How?
that? Yeah.
How?
Better,
Skip?
more efficient.
Did we see that 13 points he put up? No, excuse me. Did we see the 10 points he put up against Dallas?
Shannon.
Or what about the 12 that he put up against Carolina?
Every time the voters got to see this kid on the biggest stage, the solo stage at night, they're saying,
The
really?
prime time
Is that all
hurts.
They're
there
saying
is?
his defense is terrible.
Not ready for prime time?
His
Is that
defense
ready?
is terrible.
It's a good point
Pat
about the home field
Mahomes
advantage.
has yet to score less than 26 points. Think about that, Skip Bayless. The man is yet to score less than 26.
Okay.
5 interceptions.
We're going to go back to the NFC because I feel like this
ought to be
discussion
ashamed.
could go all day. Should everyone in the NFC be
Yes.
scared of the
Yes.
Cowboys?
Especially him.
No.
According to
Yes.
Skip, Shannon, what are you
Yep.
going to say? Eric
we
Dickerson
go.
is here to join us next.
No mercy.
Well, the Cowboys clinched the NFC East yesterday with a win at home against the Bucs. The story of the game was the Dallas defense. Jalen Smith returned a fumble for a touchdown in the first quarter. Randy Gregory recovered a fumble in the third quarter that set up another Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys offense wasn't great, but Dak threw a touchdown pass and ran for another. Let's take a listen to Jerry Jones after.
I certainly think we're playing the kind of really football that you can win games in postseason. Any of these teams, we kept a little eye on what was happening down there with Houston, but any teams can really win the game. We right here had the Giants come up the backside in the wild card way and win the championship here a few years back. Yeah, I think our team is a postseason team.
Interesting.
We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Good to see you.
Yeah, so, Jenny, I
Yes?
posted a picture on Instagram late last night of the Bayless household Christmas tree
I saw it.
featuring, if we could show it, an early Christmas present given to me by
Oh,
my man
my
Eric
God.
Dickerson. Look at that.
Man,
Is that not a Christmas tree?
Hey, you know
Look at
what,
that.
Skip?
That's that jersey you gave me.
Thank you for keeping it.
Way to go.
Thank
Skip
you.
Bayless,
Thank
I'll
you.
be
Yeah.
honest with
Thank you
you.
for keeping
Whoa,
it.
look at that.
If you weren't married, if Ernestine didn't put that up, I would break in your house and burn that tree down.
Turn that tree down.
But I don't
Nice
want
gift.
Ernestine's hard work to go to waste.
I heard that.
She would not love that. So thank you for that.
You're
I
very
The
welcome.
tree. Really well done, Skip.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
Eric.
had nothing to do with the tree.
Yeah, you're not going to take credit. I appreciate that. How big of a threat are the Cowboys in the playoffs?
Well, I said this last week. I'm really happy at the Cowboys in the playoffs. I really am. I think it's good for football. I know it's good for Skip because he loves his
But
Cowboys.
you know what? It's good for the National Football League.
Is
Is it not?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate to
One
say
week.
it. I have
Oh.
to say it. We always say the Cowboys. It's all about the Cowboys. It's all about the Cowboys.
This league revolves around the Dallas
It
Cowboys.
actually doesn't, but okay.
I can't say the league is reliant on the Cowboys, but it's good for them to be in. But saying that to say this, how far will they go? Not far, not long. If they have to play Seattle, a team that I saw play last night, I thought would beat the Kansas City Chiefs because of the way their defense is playing, and what they play is kind of like old football, run the football, throw the football. Seattle's playing, I think, the best football. Even I got to say, better than the Rams playing. And I think even better than New Orleans. I mean, they're playing very good football. It's a team right now that I don't think you want to meet in the playoffs, even though they will have to go to Seattle. If they were in Dallas, I would say they'd have a better.
Oh yeah, they go to Dallas.
No,
They go to Dallas. They go to
Dallas
Dallas.
gets home game.
They have a better
They won
shot.
the
They have a
division.
better. That's right. I forgot that. They have a better shot in
Come on.
Dallas.
Come on.
But
Can't forget that early.
I'll say for the Cowboys to win, they have to play old smash mouth 80s Rams football.
That is correct.
Run the football.
Yep.
Run the football. It's
And that's
not
exactly
popular.
what
It's
Seattle
not
would be
popular.
doing.
Run the football. Third and fourth quarter. That's when it pays off. I think you see right now with Amari Cooper. All that not shine has worn out, but people, the league catches up. They know how to defend you. So I feel like when Seattle goes to Dallas, I think that that could be it for the Dallas Cowboys. I hate to say that for you, Skip, but I
Really?
think it's going to be it for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Are you getting scared over
Yeah,
there?
yeah, no. You already know. I call them the Zion Williamsons.
Do you?
Yeah, one and done.
One and done?
They one and done, Skip, baby. Because here's the thing. Your offense, 24th in scoring, 23rd in total offense, 24th in pass offense. Who you going to beat? It's over.
The Cowboys.
Skip, I'm happy for you. I mean, it does because I don't know if I could have showed up to work. You had lost this game, but you not make the playoffs. I don't want you to go into 2019 knowing your team.
Instead, I'm up 17 cases of Diet Mountain Dew thanks to my Dallas Cowboys.
I'll get 3 of them back first game because I know you go back. Oh, yeah, we got this one. This is our revenge tour, and you get back to me. Skip, look, Seattle, like you told me, the Cowboys beat New Orleans, so they feel they can beat it. Okay, New Orleans beat them decisively. So clearly they feel they could do it again. And I believe Seattle is playing better today than they were when they played them earlier in the year. Clearly.
You don't think Dallas is better?
Clearly. The quarterbacks is no comparison.
No.
Really? No
comparison.
comparison.
Skip, you need to stop playing now.
Did you hear that, Dak? Thank you. Keep talking.
Skip, Russell Wilson has 34 passing touchdowns with 6 interceptions.
I love Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But I love my quarterback. I love my quarterback.
Now, can the defense put on another performance like they played last night at home?
Was that good?
They were very good.
Really?
Going against Kansas City. Skip, the whole Kansas City did that?
Which one are we talking
No, I'm
about?
saying
Seattle. I thought you meant Dallas.
No.
Oh.
No, Dallas. I'm not concerned about Dallas's
Well,
defense.
I am.
I'm
That's my
concerned
only
about your
concern.
The offense?
Man, Skip, stop playing now. Dak threw the ball for 161 yards.
And he had his second best QBR of the whole year, 87. And he made all the big little plays that won the game 27-20.
Who they playing?
Tampa.
That's what I said. Who they play? The
Tampa
Bucs?
moved the ball up and down the
But
field.
Tampa
like
do that
crazy.
all year long.
Oh, really?
And have
They
4 or 5
ran
turnovers.
75 plays to my 50 plays.
How many turnovers?
For which side? Their side. They had 2 to our none.
Yeah, a scoop and score and a fumble on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Well, Jameis always does that. He did that at Florida State.
Oh,
Am I
yeah,
right?
but he's number 3 or 4 in QBR,
He's
though.
5th in QB.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So, I really love my football team because I love my quarterback and I love my running back, who, by the way, is leading the NFL in rushing, and he is the best running back in pro football because he can run it and he can really catch it.
He ain't better than
I
Gurley.
told you going into the year he can catch it, and he's caught it all year long. He is dangerous. And I realize that Dak and Amari have lost a little wavelength, just 4 catches at Indy, 4 catches yesterday that didn't amount to much, 20 yards.
But that's his history, though, Skip.
Okay, no, Eric's exactly right. This league catches
up.
up.
They catch up.
But Dak is going to have to trust at some point that even though he's doubled, he's such a great route runner. He's so quick coming out of his breaks. You just have to go ahead and trust him and throw it in his direction. Because we saw what Ben did last night with AB or late yesterday afternoon.
So when the league going to catch up with Ben and AB?
You can't.
Or with DeAndre Hopkins? Or
Well,
with
you just
Julio?
can't.
When the league going to catch up with
Well,
him?
just watch
got
what's
some
about
nerve.
to happen. Just watch what's about to
What's
happen.
about to happen?
And listen, when Ezekiel Elliott, when it's time to rise and shine in playoff games or big stage college games like versus St. Nick's defense.
Oh, my goodness.
He had
They're
230
going back
yards
to that
rushing
again.
at St.
Skip.
Nick. You watch what's about to happen.
What did he do against Green Bay?
You know, Jerry Jones is exactly right. This is just the kind of team that can get hot and go long into the playoffs.
But he was crying. He was crying, slinging snot just last week after they got shut out.
I like him slinging snot.
Yeah, like a teenager.
You know,
No,
like
he
a
wasn't.
teen. Yes, he
He
was.
was not.
You
He
know-
walked in and said, I don't want to look like I snuck my you-know-what out of town. I'm going to talk. I'm going to face you
But
guys.
what about say he's disappointed? Or I'm disappointed. I mean, the defense,
Well,
offense.
how could you not be? It was 23-0.
But now
They
he's talking
laid
Super
a
Bowl.
goose
Super Bowl.
egg.
One moment, we got to get him special care.
I
Now the
told
next
you
moment-
what happened at Indianapolis. They didn't take it seriously. They had a 2-game lead.
Come on
in
now,
the season.
Skip.
They didn't take it
Come on,
seriously.
Skip. What you mean they take it
Yeah.
serious? You take
Yesterday,
you
they
take every
decided,
football
okay,
game.
watch this.
Well, you know
And
why.
My quarterback just keeps making big little plays. Could we see that first conversion? It's 3rd and 12 from the 34, and the game's
Is it gonna
still
show it?
teetering. Yeah, can we show this
show
play?
that.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 34, and Dak Prescott throws a rifle shot to Michael Gallup. Tell me this isn't big time. Has Jared Goff ever done any better than that?
That's a nice
That's
pass.
a big
That's a
throw,
big
man.
time pass.
That's big time.
Yeah,
that's
one.
a big conversion right there to
That's one.
keep the momentum. That's one,
That's one,
really.
That's one. I do like him.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
So do I. I like him. The bigger the game, the more big plays he's going to make.
I think.
And my defense yesterday was not very good, and it wasn't very good at Indianapolis. It got blown off the field with 178 yards rushing.
Why wasn't Dak getting good against Indianapolis?
Why wasn't Dak? I thought Dak was very good.
With those interceptions and 200 yards passing?
10 plays, 14 plays, 15-play drives.
End result.
To set up, blocked field goal, dropped touchdown pass, and uncalled pass interference up the sideline that would have resulted. It was, too. He got ridden up the sideline. He got fouled five times.
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown's not going to get that call, but he deserved that call.
He didn't.
Yes, he
You gotta
did.
get
So
some-
there's 17 points that Dak actually scored that didn't count.
No, he did score. Skip, you can't say, he...
So look, so basically the Cowboys to win this football game, I go back to what I said earlier. To have a shot to win it, they've got to just go run the football with Zeke. They cannot get in third and long because
Okay.
they're not a team to come out there.
So what did I tell you all along? What
They're
was
gonna lose
happening
next
through
week.
that 5-game stretch? The revenge tour was happening. They got even with every team all along the trail. And here comes Seattle. And they owe Seattle for last December 24th, what happened at Jerry World?
Yeah.
Dez happened. Dez dropped
Don't
the
do
football
that,
game. Well, he
Skip.
did.
Come on, Skip.
No, well, he did. He dropped the football game. Do you remember what happened?
Dez is
Huge
recovering.
drops. Huh?
Dez is recovering from an injury,
Okay,
and you
well, I
blaming
don't care.
him.
I'm just saying it's a revenge game because what happened at Seattle in week 3? 24-13 happened, and Zeke had a bad game. He dropped a big third down conversion, and then he got him back in the game with the long run in the fourth quarter and fumbled it away.
But let me ask you a question. When are you going to hold Dak Prescott to the same accountability that you hold Zeke Elliott?
I do. When I don't like his play, I tell you that I don't like
but you
what
like
he
his
did
play
early.
after throwing
Against,
for 161.
well, I liked him in the fourth quarter and overtime against Philly when he went 17 of 20 for 243 and 3
Had
touchdowns.
he not turned the ball over 3 times, they wouldn't have
I
needed
told
that
you
kind
I
of
don't
performance.
like it. He turned it over none yesterday, and he'll turn it over none in a playoff game. I like
Yes,
this
no,
thing.
no.
The ingredients are here. What have we been seeing all around
don't
the
like the
league?
dish.
We see flawed. Has anybody broken clear the field?
No,
Do you
nobody.
love anybody?
No.
What did you just tell me about Patrick Mahomes has no defense?
No.
Okay, good.
But
right?
Patrick Mahomes not in the NFC.
Okay, but he's going to play.
Seattle has a defense.
If he gets to the Super Bowl.
The Bears have a defense.
Okay.
Bears
All right.
with them.
Yeah.
But the
Dallas
Bears have
could
no
beat
offense.
Chicago. Dallas can win at New Orleans. Dallas has the blueprint.
Can Dallas-
They would go in with high confidence in that
Oh,
game.
but Seattle won't come in with confidence to play Dallas.
Well, I hope they do. I hope they come in with the
Can Dallas
overconfidence.
win in L.A.?
That's a good question.
There
Yes,
we go.
they could.
There we go.
Yeah.
Y'all
Whole
ain't got
nother
no home field. Y'all don't have no home field,
discussion
ED.
for a
If
different
Dallas come in,
time.
Your team is teetering, Eric. I got to tell you.
I don't care. I don't even want to hear
You
that.
realize your
Don't even wanna
defense
hear it right now?
Your defense
I know
is 20th in points allowed.
But
like that?
Would that be perfect? Because y'all don't score points and
we
they
can
do.
score points, though. We can score points.
But my defense is 4th in points allowed.
What
Is that
about
good
your
enough?
offense?
Huh?
What about your offense?
It scores when it has to.
And our defense stops when they have to.
Yeah,
Okay. Eric, you're going to stick around and help us with this next one about the Patriots. Are we seeing the beginning of the end for dynasty? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Well, the Patriots, they beat the Bills yesterday to clinch their 10th straight AFC East title. Before the game, Jason LaCanfora of CBS reported that there could be a number of coaches and front office execs leaving the Patriots after this season. That could include offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. One NFL exec said, quote, "This is the time to get out, and those guys know it." Eric Dickerson is still with us, but Shannon, I'm going to start with you on this one. Does it feel like the beginning of the end for the Patriots dynasty?
It really does. And I think a lot of that's predicated that Tom is 41. Tom is not the same player that he once was. And people fail to realize that, but it just happened. You know, you get older, whether you're a professional athlete or it's just normal day-to-day life, you age. And unfortunately, people like to think that everybody else get older, but not Tom Brady. He's going to stay the exact. He's going to be able to do the same things he's done for the last 50.
What's Eric calling? Old ass man.
Yeah, that's what he is.
For football. For football. I said for football.
I like that.
Yeah.
Skip, he's not the same guy. You look at over his 9 touchdowns over his last 8 games. That's what he's thrown. 9. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that, Skip?
My turn?
No, it's not your turn. and we turn around, well, look who he's throwing to. Well, he was throwing to those guys when he outgunned Patrick Mahomes. He was throwing to those same guys that when he outgunned Aaron Rodgers. And you think, Skip, the thing is that if you watch Peyton Manning's career, it was gradual because remember, he went 55-10 in MVP. He went 39-15, I think, the next year. But towards the tail end, like the last 4 or 5 games of that year in which he threw 39 touchdowns, you started, if you paid close attention, started watching. And then what happens is that the great guys can have these great games. They pop up. You look at Peyton the last year, he goes to Kansas City, they're down big, Skip, and what? He throws for like 355 and he leads them back. But he was never the same. Tom is not the same quarterback, Skip. It's gradual. Coach Belichick tried to be ahead of the curve, and Mr. Kraft wouldn't allow it. He also tried to be ahead of the curve with Gronk. Now, you said, and I said it, I said, Skip, he's not the same. I mean, I could see early on, he wasn't the same player. Brady's starting to flinch now a little bit more. He doesn't want to take the hit. Hey, as you get older, those hits hurt more. ED, you better tell him.
Man, come on. Quarterbacks don't get hit no way.
Period. And then as an old man, I already knew.
See, he said it too.
As an old man, Skip, you fall, you shatter like ice. I mean, things start to break a little. You're a little bit more brittle. Boom, you like, whoo. You see him with his arm folded up out there, Skip. It's starting to be the end. They see the writings on the wall. It's coming apart. Now, you can let the wheels fall off. You can let the transmission hit the dirt before you realize you need a new car. But Coach Belichick tried to be out in front of this thing real early. Yeah, but it's just a matter of time.
He tried to dump the guy who was about to win the MVP a year ago, right? That guy who threw for a playoff record 505 yards in the Super Bowl. That's the guy he tried to dump.
The only thing, Skip, is that they do not have an heir apparent to Brady like they had with Jimmy G. But this is not the same team.
You want to go?
You go. I want to wait after you.
So
I know you love Tom.
This is what I saw just 2 Sundays ago. I don't know. Maybe my TV's broken, but I saw this game on my TV right up here in Century City. I don't know. I get direct TV. Is it okay? Maybe maybe it screwed up that day and sent me the wrong game. I don't know. I saw Tom Brady go to his personal house of horrors in Miami, and I saw him throw for 358 yards and 3 touchdowns and put himself in position to win the football game until his coach put Miami in position to pull off what became known as the Miami Miracle. On the very last play of the game, they stole it because Bill Belichick put what's left of Rob Gronkowski on the field as the last line of defense to defend a Hail Mary from 85 yards away. I don't get it. Ryan Tannehill was already hurt. He couldn't have thrown a Hail Mary 35 yards, but he was being defended like he could throw it 85 yards. But if you can explain that, you're ahead of me. But Bill Belichick is the guy who should have been traded a year ago because he's losing his fastball. So help me out here. Okay. If the Patriots had won that game as Tom Brady put them in position to win, what would be happening right now? The New England Patriots would be the 1 seed in the AFC. Are you believing that? That's how bad Tom Brady has been this year when he once again threw for 4,000 plus yards.
Not yet.
Yeah. No, he has. He's already eclipsed it. He already eclipsed it. He's got the 9th most yards in the league.
9th.
Yeah, but who wouldn't want that?
What about touchdowns?
Well, who wouldn't want the record because they've already vaulted back up to the number 2 seed? Who wouldn't want a week off and a home game to have to play only one away game that could, in this crazy AFC, it could become a Foxborough game. You never know. Yeah. There could be an upset along the trail. This is the one guy I don't bet against, and it's the one guy who just 2 weeks ago was throwing rockets all over the field in Miami where he has struggled so mightily, and he showed you how much he's got left. He's got his fastball.
What about his last 6 drives in Miami?
Well, how about the last drive that should have been a touchdown and Belichick shut it down?
No.
Try to eat the clock for a field goal. Am I right about that?
But
did he not put them in position to win a game they've lost? What was he like?
They should not have been even in that
7
situation.
Of his 9.
Because if Tom Brady doesn't take the sack before the half, they get a field goal out of that, right, Jenny?
Yeah.
If he
the
doesn't
game
miss,
over.
If he doesn't miss Brian, if he
the game was over.
No, it wasn't.
It was way over.
No.
Come on.
Hold up. I didn't hear the gun go off.
Yeah. The clock didn't.
It still had time on the clock. Yeah. That's what you told me.
Yeah.
You threw, Skip? My turn?
This team, there's one guy you don't bet against, and it's even at age 41, the old-ass man, you better not bet against it.
Well, look, I had a Jerry curl once upon a time.
Yeah, I had a hair full of hair.
I don't have a Jerry curl no more. That's just life. We all get old.
I loved your Jerry curl.
I did too, but I don't have it no more. Yeah. You know,
and the fruit
the thing is that
you could get it back if you really wanted to.
No, I'm good. I'm good. You know, when I look at the Patriots, and you're right. I mean, Shannon. I mean, this team. I mean, all things come to an end. They really do. I mean, Tom Brady, he's older. I mean, he's an old man for football. You're not too, like I said, you're not too old for the world, but you're too old to be playing football, and not at this level. I mean, it's time. He's possibly the greatest quarterback to ever play in the National Football.
Possibly?
Well, by your standards, he is. But I mean,
by anybody's standards?
I still like Joe. I mean, I'm a Joe. I'm sorry, I'm biased. I'm a Joe Montana. But anyway, forget all that. You know, it's time. I mean, it is time.
Time to stop?
No.
When you're the 2 seed?
Well,
really? Let's stop.
Let me ask you this.
Let's just stop.
Wait. No,
you're not the greatest quarterback ever.
Well, let's put it like
you're
this.
still really good.
When you set out, you have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. In football, it's probably better to have a 5-year plan. That's 5 years. Okay, right now with Tom Brady, you think somebody say, I want to come into New England with a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. Because Tom Brady won't be there. I mean, eventually, Robert Kraft is going to say, you know what, I'm going to turn this over to my son, Jonathan. I'm going to let him run it. When I also look at Josh McDaniels, who should have took the job in Indianapolis, probably you're going to be coaching here.
I don't know. He might be the next coach of the New England Patriots sooner than later.
And he might have a year. He might get a year out of Tom Brady, and then what? We've seen what Josh McDaniel does without a guy named Tom Brady.
Brady says he's playing until 45, and I'm not going to bet against that.
I bet against him.
I bet against that.
Okay.
I don't think
you guys are you resent the fact that he continues to endure.
No,
liability.
And one thing is
and he
that,
plays a position in which you can endure. Am I right?
They don't give him all the talent around him either. I mean, you got to.
Okay, wait. Speaking of that, is Brandon Cook still a Patriot? No, he's a Ram, and they replaced him with who? Is Danny Amendola still a Patriot? No. He's a Dolphin, and they replaced him with who? Nobody.
But that's always.
They went and got Josh Gordon, and he's gone. And that was a team-rocking development early last week. Not team-wrecking, but team-rocking.
But here's the thing,
right?
The way they've done business, the pieces
who
always been interchangeable.
Who did he throw to yesterday? He threw to one quote-unquote wide receiver who's his slot receiver.
Yes.
He threw 10 balls to Julian Edelman.
Yep.
And Edelman is 32 coming off complete ACL reconstruction. He is not what he used to be. Gronk has become a liability. He shouldn't even be on the field.
Yeah, you heard that? Nobody's what they used to be.
Except Tom.
Except the 41-year-old. The 29-year-old Gronk.
Just 2 weeks ago, he had one of the better games of the whole NFL season at Miami.
Okay,
you don't like that?
So how was he in Detroit?
Well, how was he against Patrick Mahomes? How was he against Aaron Rodgers? Those are big stage shootouts.
How was he against Marcus Mariota?
Yeah. Well, okay, they lost some games, how was the defense in those games?
You see that's the defense.
Forget to go to the defense.
Patrick Mahomes says, give me a defense.
Do you realize if Bill Belichick closes the deal at Miami, they're the 1 seed? So I ask you, do you like that?
If was a
How did they do
If Bob Sutton closes the deal in New England. If Bob Sutton closes the deal in the Rams.
How could you close the deal? Tom Brady was throwing for 182 in the fourth quarter. How could you do that? Is that an old-ass man? I don't think so.
Yeah, well,
that was this year.
Coach Belichick said, see, when you take sacks right before the half when we don't have a timeout, I got to move on.
Got to move on.
It's crazy to think that Brady and Belichick have been together since 2000. I mean, that's back when you were winning Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Jerry Curl was gone.
2000.
Tom Brady's won the AFC East 15 straight times.
Look what conference they in.
Thank you.
Look who they play: the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. I mean, my God, the easy.
Hard to do.
It's
hard to do.
Come on.
Oh.
Rex Ryan was once the coach there. They were pretty good then.
So I want you to keep that same energy. When I say LeBron James with the 8 finals out of the East, I want that same energy that you just gave Belichick.
Last night, LeBron looked old.
No, do this. Skip, don't do that.
Come on, Skip.
Not yet. You can't say he's old. Eric, thank you for being here on this holiday. How about Baker Mayfield? Why is he continuing to take shots at Hugh Jackson? It just continues. We'll show you next.
No mercy.
The Baker Mayfield, Hugh Jackson saga continued yesterday. Baker threw a short pass which turned into a 66-yard gain in the win over the Bengals. And after the play, Baker appeared to stare down Hugh on the sideline and even spun around and backpedaled to continue the stare. I love it. Baker was asked about the interaction after the game. Well, he was confident per usual, the typical Baker Mayfield confidence, which Skip and I have come to know and love. But Shannon, how did you feel about the stare down?
You've come around, haven't you?
He needs to grow up. Skip Bayless, you've been around this game a long time. Name the quarterback. Now, I'm not saying any other position. I'm saying name the quarterback that's won big with this kind of behavior,
None.
with these kind of antics.
None.
At
I give you none, but I'm going to go ahead.
At some point in time, he's going to have to grow up. Hugh was fired. But like I said, Skip, I can't verify this. Somebody told Baker Mayfield something that Hugh Jackson said. For him to continue this, Hugh Jackson has been removed from this building for what, a month? At least a month now, Skip? And for him to carry on this kind of animosity, this kind of dislike, something was said that got back to Baker Mayfield. That's the only thing that I can think of that would cause him to continue to carry this on. I get it. Baker Mayfield is not the only guy that's ever played with a chip on his shoulder. Baker Mayfield is not the only guy that's feel he's been wronged at some point in time during his playing career by a high school coach, college coach, NFL coach.
Yep.
He's not the first. He won't be the last. But to be this blatant and openly demonstrative about his disdain for a particular coach, I can't say that I've ever seen this in my 14 years of playing and all my years of covering. So, Skip, we should be talking about the Browns have won 5 of their last 6
They
games.
have.
Baker Mayfield has thrown 14 touchdowns and 4 picks. But what are we talking about? His antics. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're not talking about his play on the field. We're talking about his antics. Let it go. Grow up.
So I would agree with you on any other young quarterback, any other that I've ever covered in my lengthy career, except this one. This kid is one of a kind. This kid needs a chip on his shoulder, and if it's not there, he's going to create one, and he's going to sustain it way over the edge and over the line, because that's what drives him. That's what drove him out of high school in Austin, Texas, to walk on at Texas Tech. And once he fell apart with Cliff Kingsbury, that's what drove him again to go walk on, live in the dorm for a year at University of Oklahoma, and walk on.
Why you go to a rival?
The Heisman
Why
Trophy.
did he stay at the Big 12?
His father has a connection to University of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had no connection to Cincinnati, not having coached there or having coached under Marvin Lewis. But okay, go ahead. I get your point.
The point is that this kid is something. This kid, once he gets offended the slightest little bit away, it's Jordan-esque. And I'm not comparing Baker Mayfield to Michael Jordan, but I covered Michael, and it was always, he would create beefs with people. He would make it up. It would be like
But Skip, it was
delusion.
Skip, it was game to game. Once he was done with that game, he was done with it.
Okay, but something happened between these two, and I think it started with the classic scene that we talked about on Hard Knocks. And I came in the next morning to our meeting. I said, we've got to do this. I'm going to unleash on this one. It was just wrong.
Yeah.
And to Hugh's credit, Hugh sat right here in the seat.
He owned it.
And he
did.
said, yeah, I wish I had that one back. And was it for the cameras? He called in Baker and basically, announced to Baker, you have won the backup quarterback job over Drew Stanton. It was shameful. That'd be
The
humiliating.
dude ain't come here to compete for no backup job. He's the number one overall pick.
Number one overall pick, and you knew it, I knew it, and Hugh knew it. And I think Hugh was sort of trying to flex his muscles for the Hard Knocks cameras because his two coordinators were flexing theirs and out-flexing you.
Skip, something was said. Something had to be said in private. Coaches talk amongst coaches in coaches' meetings and some. Skip, there's no way. Come on, Skip. You've been around this game. We've never seen a quarterback.
Hugh just didn't buy completely into Baker from the start, and Baker did not love it. So he's going to carry the torch for that a long way. And he carried it through two. They just beat Cincinnati twice, which is no small achievement for the Cleveland Browns, right? And so he's going to rub it in, and then after the game, he's going to shrug and say, who, me? I don't know what you're talking about.
No. That wasn't after no game. No? He did that during the game. So why all of a sudden?
No, but after the game, when he's asked about it, he shrugs like, I don't know what you're talking about. He knows exactly what you're talking about, and he still hasn't let it go because he's not built that way. He's a little undersized. He's 6 feet and something tall, 6 feet and a half inch tall.
You win a couple of games.
Yep.
But I just don't believe you can win big with those kind of antics.
The only quarterback I ever saw do this was Jim McMahon to a certain degree, but not to this degree. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But Skip, let it go.
Look what Baker did at University of Oklahoma. He got mad at at a TCU kid for daring to run across the back line of his end zone during warm-ups and just drilled him in the head. He got mad at lowly Kansas, the doormat of the conference, in the pregame coin flip because they wouldn't shake his hand, and he went berserk.
Why didn't he get mad at Clemson? Why didn't he get mad at Georgia? That's what he should have get mad at. Don't get mad at Kansas and TCU. Why didn't he get mad at Clemson?
He was taking it out on Georgia in the first half. He threw for 200 yards. Yeah.
I know you love that one.
First half.
You love that game.
Does Skip Bayless tell me he prides himself? He loved guys that play big and big moments for games.
Well, he got hurt in the second half.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, pride, his feelings, them
If it's
dogs.
not Hugh, though, like you said, Skip, he's going to find one more thing.
He'll just find
That's
another
his
one.
thing. He finds
He'll
someone to
be mad at somebody, somewhere, somehow.
Let me ask you a question.
a reason.
You don't think Brady has that in him?
Yeah, that's Psycho Tom.
He keeps it to himself, but he's not going to stare anybody down during the game.
Thank
He's
you.
not going to point any fingers. Yep.
Just let me know. Like I said, he'll win a few
Okay,
games
fair
here and
enough.
there, but let me know when he wins something big.
Okay. Well,
Well,
coming
he just
up.
started. I mean,
Okay.
he's won 5 of his last 6.
Let me know when he wins something big.
Are you not impressed so far?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was playing well.
Yeah, he's
and we
playing
should
very
be
well.
talking about his play on the field.
Is he the
Not-
best of the rookie
No,
quarterbacks?
Sam
sounds
Darnold.
like
I'm not willing to concede that.
Ah,
Sam Darnold. Did you see Sam Darnold? Did you see Sam Darnold yesterday?
Yeah, just because it was against what's
No,
left
no,
of
no,
Aaron
no.
Rodgers.
Okay, we are going to grade Dak Prescott
Yes, we are.
next. But first, guys, since it's the holidays
Oh.
and this is my first holiday season
What?
with Skip and Shannon.
What we got? We know it ain't no
We have to
bacon.
open
Yeah, just open it fast.
It ain't no pastries.
Just really fast.
Oh.
It might be pastries.
I see Argyle.
What?
Come on,
It's
Jenny.
a holiday sweater.
Oh.
So you guys can wear it tomorrow.
Hold on.
You like it?
Yes.
Hold on. Who
Well,
was mine?
LeBron was sold
Oh, okay.
out, so I had to just go with the generic. But
Okay,
I
I
think
thought
you're
for a
onto
second, I thought it was the
something.
Vikings.
No, I wish it was the Vikings, actually.
Yes.
These are
Will you wear that
These
tomorrow
are like
for me?
hockey
Where's
sweaters.
It's a
If they're
plastic
can I
holiday
get James
sweaters.
on
She
stencils
got
on the back?
you a, she
Yeah,
got
I
you a
didn't
really
put
big
enough
one.
effort into that. I'm
Yeah, I don't
sorry
know
if
what
we've done
Jenny-
names, but
I think that
I mean,
that reflects your.
that can go in the
girth.
Christmas tree with you. All right, either way. Okay, I didn't know
love
what
this.
size to get.
Thank
It's
you, Jen.
complicated.
Extra large.
Thank you, Jenny. I think that's an
Double
XXXL over
Yeah,
there.
it is. 2X.
You're very
I
strong.
got a medium.
Okay.
I got a medium.
We're gonna be
Mine
back
got small.
with grades for Dak. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
No mercy.
The Cowboys got the win yesterday to clinch the NFC East. Dak Prescott threw a touchdown pass, ran for another, but he had just 161 yards in the air.
Just. Who says just?
I do, once in a
Who
while.
wrote that?
Shannon, how would
did.
you grade
You wrote that?
Dak's day?
I'm gonna give him a C minus.
C minus.
C minus, Skip, because I still believe he holds the ball too long. I believe he's inaccurate and he doesn't put the ball down the field. And the 161 yards on 25 attempts is the art of dinking and dacking. Skip, that's 6.4 yards an attempt. So to put that in perspective, because I like context here, Jenny, I love the term context. It's context, Skip Bayless. Think about this. If 6.4, if that was his average for the entire season, that would be third worst. Only ahead of Josh Allen and Josh Rosen. Do you think they're very good, Skip Bayless? Are they having very good seasons?
Yes.
Because that's what Skip.
I think they're having very good.
You can't even say it with a straight face. It criminal tomorrow, and you can't even say that with a straight face. Skip, let's be real. The defense has been playing unbelievable. The defense, I think, is better than a lot of people. We thought the defense could be good. Maybe thought they'd be a lot better next year, but they've matured. A top 5 scoring defense. Yeah, I get it. They don't get off the field on third down, but they don't let you get into the end zone. 161 yards, which was the second fewest of the season. So, Skip, that's all I can give him. I can give him a C minus. That's the best I can do, given the circumstances. He's going to need to be much better if he's going to do what you want them to do, which is go far in the playoffs.
So you are the Grinch who stole football, right? Or stole what's Unc say? Grimace?
Yeah, criminal.
Grimace. No, there we go. So
You better not give him an A.
I'm not going to give him an A, but Dak Prescott's performance yesterday, I'm straight from the heart here, B+. It's being very underrated. Dak Prescott only had the ball for 50 plays yesterday. Jameis had the ball for 75 plays, 35 minutes to 25 minutes. Dak goes 20 of 25 for 161 because he didn't get to throw it that much. But every play I look at that had to be made, he made it. We already looked at that crucial 3rd and 12 early. Then he ran 7 yards for the first touchdown when they couldn't score in the red zone. He threw a sweet fade to Michael Gallup when they couldn't score in the red zone for another touchdown. And then late in the game, when he needed to kill the clock, he threw it out of his own end zone on 3rd and 12 to Cole Beasley for a huge clock-killing first down. Those are plays that have to be made against a hot-handed Jameis Winston, who did turn the ball over twice, and those 2 turnovers were the difference in the game. But the other big difference, unspoken and unseen, was that Dak Prescott had 0 turnovers yesterday. I love the way he played because that's efficient, effective Dak Prescott, Dak attack football.
Do you think he held the ball too long?
Occasionally he does. He still does. He wants to throw the home run.
Do you think he was accurate?
Yeah, I do. Every time he needed to be deadly accurate, he threw it right on time and right into somebody's breadbasket. I do. I like the way he threw. 20 of 25 is pretty good.
I'll give you credit on the rail throw to Gallup.
Oof.
That was big time.
Wow.
The fade was a nice throw. Grimes lost the ball.
He did.
Twice when he hit Cole Beasley on the 3rd and 12 on his own end zone. Skip.
So, Dak Prescott had a QBR yesterday of 87, his second highest of the year, only to Jacksonville, which was 40-7 Dallas, and he had a 95 QBR that day. I will take it. This was a money game. This is one with, as Zach Martin said after the game, we felt like our backs were to the wall. So, he did it. And guess who pulled them out of backs to wall? Quarterback did. He's the leader. He's the playmaker. Yep.
See, the best I can give him.
You just upped it? I thought you said C-.
No, he gets a C-. But
I thought you upped it to a C.
But no, I can't.
I thought I convinced you.
I can't go to the B.
Why not?
Because, I'm not surprised.
What did he do wrong? Did he turn it over?
Jenny,
did he
after
turn
last
it all
week,
over?
he scored no points, had 2
zeros.
turnovers, and he still got a B. So I'm surprised you didn't give him an A.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't give him an F.
No, you won. You don't get an F in a win.
Oh, really? Well, you're capable of doing that.
No, not in a win.
Your F's leave me flabbergasted.
No, not in a win.
If you guys were grading consistently, I don't know.
Yes.
You guys are tough judges. What about the Lakers? Are they going to pull a huge Christmas
I ain't
upset?
wanna talk about
We'll
How about them
discuss
Lakers?
that next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. The Lakers lost at home last night to the Grizzlies, and now things get really difficult for LeBron and company because they'll be on the road tomorrow night for a Christmas showdown with the Warriors. Shannon, will your Lakers pull the upset?
No. They don't shoot free throws well. They turn the ball over too much. Now they're dead last in free throw percentage. Turn the ball over the 4th most in the NBA.
LeBron made all 4 of his last night. That was pretty impressive. I was like, thank you.
And that was a weird
Santa
game,
Claus.
Skip. I was looking at
Start.
the game. I'm like, LeBron, are you going to shoot? I mean, I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, Skip. I mean,
Saving himself for tomorrow night?
no, we don't do that. We don't save ourselves.
You
We
don't
go
do
all-
that?
we
I
go
think
all
you
out.
have to in your 16th year.
Stop it. The Lakers are just too up and down. And I just don't have any confidence because I don't know what I'm going to get night to night. I don't know the rotations. I mean, Lonzo now all of a sudden he's playing like 10 fewer minutes since Rondo's been back. So no, they're not winning. I wish they were, but I don't know. I don't have any confidence in them.
So Golden State's favored by 9. I think this will be a closer game than that because Golden State's been a little hit and miss, and they almost lost at home to the Clippers last night. I told you the Clippers are a little better than the Lakers. But I expect LeBron to play big on the biggest stage. This is 8 o'clock Eastern. I think he'll have a triple-double in this, but I also think that Steph and KD will go for 30-plus. They went 42 and 35 last night, and it took that to overcome the Clippers.
That's a great luxury to have, huh? Well, that's a great luxury to have, KD.
Yep.
Have a guy that can go get you 42.
I know, but it's
or
a
to
great
get you
luxury
50.
to have the best player in the history of basketball. That's what you tell me.
Yeah,
right?
but he ain't beating a great team.
Well, 1 on 5, only 5 can play at once.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, I'm serious.
I sure wish you'd have had that same energy when Jordan was playing the Big 360.
How about my Cowboys? That's all I
Gotta
care
end
about.
that way.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.